It is 6 o'clock. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans fall to 0-4 on the season after a 26-0 shutout loss to the Houston Texans on Sunday. This is the first time the Titans have started a season 0-4 since back in the 2009 season, and the first time they were shut out in a game since Week 6 against the Denver Broncos in 2019. The Titans were outgained 353 yards to 175, and quarterback Cam Ward threw for just 108 yards and an interceptions. Elsewhere in the NFL, Sunday Night Football, the Micah Parsons returned to Dallas. The Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys ended a 40-40 tie in overtime, and it's the first tie of the NFL season. In college, the Tennessee Vols improved to 4-1 on the season with a dramatic win in overtime, 41-34. On the first play of overtime, Deshaun Bishop rushed 25 yards for the score. And then the Vols defense went to work, holding strong and securing the win. The Vols are now headed for the bye week. And the Arkansas Razorbacks have fired head coach Sam Pittman after 6 seasons and named Bobby Petrino the interim head coach. Arkansas lost 56-13 at home on Saturday to Notre Dame. Tennessee will play Arkansas on October 11th. And Nashville Soccer Club, they're headed back to the MLS playoffs for the 5th time in the club's 6-year history after a 3-1 win over the Houston Dynamo FC at Geodis Park on Saturday night. Hani Mukhtar, Sam Surridge, and Andy Nahar all got on the score sheet. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Monday morning, Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, is off and running. Visit a locally owned Scooters location near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. 615-737-1045 is the number. We stream it live for you, 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. The Tennessee Titans are 0-4. with a 26-0 loss to the Houston Texans yesterday. Lots of your thoughts, many of our reactions as well, as we divided and conquered over the weekend. Ramon Foster was in Starkville for Tennessee's win over Mississippi State. I was in Houston for the Titans' loss to the Texans. We've got a lot of thoughts this morning. What's up, Ramon? Good morning.
Man, a good bit, man. You were state to state, so was I. Hit 3 states, I guess, in 2 days. You were about the same, although you flew over a few. But good times. This trip to Mississippi wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. The drive, that is. I honestly enjoyed a good bit of it. The countryside and just
it's
the slow
pretty.
moving.
Yeah, I told you it's a little picturesque trip through the South.
It was, man. Fellow Noel, we went to one of his friends' houses out in Mississippi, man, on some golf course. Listen, golf course was beautiful. Do you hear me?
Lovely.
A lot of those exclusive, you never hear about people are members of them, one of those private courses. It was, you'd have loved it, by the way.
Fantastic.
Got lit up by mosquitoes. Only bad thing about the weekend. Mosquitoes got my ankles pretty good, man. But
not too bad.
I'm sure some people will take mosquito bites over the bites that they took this weekend.
Not bad at all. We will talk college football this morning, as has been our custom over the past couple of weeks, in the 8 a.m. hour. So Tennessee's win over Mississippi State will be discussed. Georgia's win over, Alabama's win over Georgia. It's so surprising to me that happened. That I've been getting it wrong at the start. Mm-hmm. Alabama's win over Georgia will be discussed. Vanderbilt is in College game day this weekend, so that'll be in the 8 a.m. hour this morning. But the Tennessee Titans are 0-4. 26-0. A couple of missed field goals. Some explosive plays given up on 2nd and Nacogdoches, on 3rd down and West Columbia. Ramon, there is not really much the Titans can hang their hat on and say this went well in this football game in all 3 phases, and that is the first time we've been able to say that this season. This was a holistic miss, a holistic just not good enough performance from every angle you look at it. Maybe the defense feels like it got a little bit more than what the stat sheet showed because they were leaned on quite a bit. But, Ramon, what was your big takeaway from yesterday in Houston?
That it goes from bad to sad to where you're almost mad. Like, that's the way it was for you in the game. I think the sadness part of it is knowing that, hey, you're 0-3 with the potential to go 0-4 against a rival. It's just watching the breakdown of the plays is so disjointed with how some good happened and then it's all negativity. Or you can't stop a nosebleed of a team that couldn't run the football and they find offense. The mad part about it is because, you got some players that are trying to give their all. I'm looking at Jeff. His ability to effect plays and how you continually pushing up the field and trying to create something. And that desperation word was in the back of my mind as I'm watching that game because I'm like looking at some of the plays that are being made on you. How desperate were you actually, man? It was it was kind of sad to watch it unfold yesterday. To go to Houston and put an egg up is something that I'm sure got a lot of people in the city and that team too. I was listening to somebody speak about it like you don't go into games thinking that you're going to lose, or that you're okay with losing. And yesterday was a defeated feeling type of day if you were a Titans fan, and I'm sure the players were exact same way too, defeated.
Brian Callahan said it after the game, says we couldn't do anything well enough. Thought they ran the ball okay at spots, couldn't possess the ball, missed some throws. I mean, the Titans had only run 34 plays, I believe, at the start of the fourth quarter. One drive in the third because the defense couldn't get off the field. The offense really just struggled to stay on the field. I mean, Ramon, it's hard to know what this team could hang its hat on other than if you make them sustain a drive, they are going to hurt themselves. Mm-hmm. And at this point, the Titans are so lacking of an identity that it takes the other team helping you to have success. Everything is really difficult for this Tennessee Titans offense right now. I think the defense overall, Ramon, although they can't hang their hat on much either in this game, I think they played well enough to give you a chance to win the football game. And this game was 6-0 going into the fourth quarter, and then they scored 20 points in the fourth quarter as things got away a little bit. But I'm having a hard time finding any kind of silver lining, any kind of positive. In games like this, Ramon, everyone shares the burden of the loss. Nice. And I think that's the thing that makes this game specifically the most difficult. There's not one thing you could point to say, here's why the Titans failed in this game. Here's why they weren't able. I mean, obviously in Denver, there's some game management mistakes that happen that lead to a lack of success. There is the Rams game where once again you go up against a better offense that you're just overmatched against. Against the Colts, again, game management at the end of the half leads to a 6-point swing. All of a sudden, you lean on your defense, and then the dam breaks. In this game, Ramon, it felt like the first time the Titans weren't playing a really great opponent. And while Houston is really talented, you had a chance to take advantage of a team that's got major issues, and you weren't able to do it. That's hard to do on the road, but you weren't able to do it. I think that's the most frustrating thing coming out of this loss for me. Houston is not the team that we expected them to be. And when you and I expected them to take a step back, not this much of a step back.
You mentioned something right there is by saying the Houston's very talented, but they're not a good team. I think that you start there. This Titans team isn't very talented either. You look at Daniil Hunter, you look at Will Anderson Jr., you see talent on that team. When you're playing bad and you got no guys that are going to make good plays for you also because they have talent that is better than everybody else, that's when you end up in a position where you put up 0 points and you scramble and try to figure out what's going to work. You mentioned nothing good really happened yesterday. The one good component of this game, and even this coach was shocked by it, but Coach Bones Fossil and the special teams unit, he's looking at Joey Slide kick, and he's he missed it again. It's so bad and it's not that good that you become shocked at what you're seeing, I feel like. That's what yesterday was for me. And to be honest with you, that's what this entire season has looked like for the most part. You mentioned guys start off and Cam gets, Calvin really started with a catch. Then where did Calvin really go from there point forward? Nowhere.
Yeah, you got him involved early.
You got him. You're attempting. You're attempting to do everything that every competitor, every coach, every scenario is asking you to do, and nothing falls forward for you. You look at the attempts also to get the running game going. That doesn't do much for you. And then, of course, the ability to be centric on offense while rolling out Cam, he makes a big play, but you can't close it out on the drive. And then you look at the situation of talent again, Derek Stingley Jr. picking up an interception just because the ball was tipped. Like, that's the difference. And, like, you want to say, like, yep, the coaching is bad. Yep, the idea that they got to play a really good game to win.
It's all bad.
It's all bad.
It's all bad.
But then you see another bad team that's 0-3 just like you, and their good players make good plays for them.
Well, and they have something that they can hang their hat on. You're exactly right.
Yes.
That defensive front is something, and even the secondary. I mean, that's still a talented defense on paper.
Yeah.
But there's no excuse for how ugly things were on offense. Truly no excuse. Cam Ward, 10 of 26, 108 yards, 2 sacks taken, a quarterback rating of 35.4. 33 of those 108 yards were on one play to Elikiah Manor. Yes, the Houston defense is really good. 175 yards of total offense is not NFL level.
Mm-mm.
It's just not. I mean, in a league that is built for points, in a league that is built for yardage, in a league that is built for big plays, the Titans aren't getting any of them. And that's just where we are at this point. It is not a good football team right now. And things are not clicking. The depth is a concern when you've got guys like J.C. Latham and Tajay Spears that have still been out. I mean, this team can't afford a lot of things that are keeping them from being their best. It's just really bleak right now, man. It is hard to really find anything for this team to hang its hat on today.
So where does this start? This is one of them situations. I ask that question, it's rhetorical, but it starts with the outfit that you employ to go out there. I thought switching to Bo Hardegree would inject a new coordinator vibe or a different flow of the game.
So just energy.
Flow was still the same. The production was the same, if not worse. The identity was still unknown by the middle of the second quarter. You attempted to throw some nitrous oxide on it to get a boost going by doing a flea flicker. When the flea flicker doesn't work, like, you can't even trick people into thinking you're going to do something good.
2 trick plays on in this game on 2 different drives. Neither of them worked.
And neither of them worked. The key that, like, seeing and diagnosing the attempts of what you're trying to do is so obvious, clearly. And we're not even in on, like, the film study of the opposing team. Like, when Cam moseyed over to the left side, who was it, Daniil Hunter, I think, that stuck with him?
Yep, it was.
It was because they know it's either that or they don't trust your players enough to be a threat to them. Like, it was that part of it for me.
615-737-1045, wide open for your reaction throughout the morning. We are live for the 1045 The Zone Circa Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can be found at Circa Sports at Kentucky Downs. Our only guest of the morning is you, 615-737-1045. The number. We will dive into the loss and dive into Cam Ward's performance yesterday. Was this Cam's worst day as a Tennessee Titans quarterback through 4 weeks? We'll talk about that next. What's up? It's Will Bowling. You've heard a lot about my new obsession, Daisy French onion dip. It is the bright side to a bad football weekend. Maybe it is just another good thing that can be in a good football weekend. It is my guilty pleasure through every football weekend. There's no doubt about that. Eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies. It's my favorite thing to do while I'm watching games. Well, Daisy's come out with this delicious French onion dip and a Daisy Ranch dip that are a game changer. Here's the thing, guys. These are as delicious as a homemade dip. They're made with real herbs and spices, plus other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. So make sure you try some out. You can dip with wings, with veggies, with broccoli, with carrots, or with chips if you don't want to be quite that healthy during football. Daisy French onion dip and Daisy Ranch dip. You can look for it at a grocery store near you.
It's Ramon and Will for Window Nation, man. Whether you got old drafty windows or cheap builder-grade windows, now is the best time to replace your windows. Protect your home of the fall ahead of the fall and winter weather, where you can get replacement windows from a company that we trust at Window Nation. Get their top quality, energy-efficient windows from a trusted company, and they're all at a reasonable price, too. And the thing about it is this, man, we know they can be expensive. We know it's an investment for your home. It's a big decision to make also. But here's the thing about it. Window Nation has some of the best replacement windows out there, and they know that making this investment is crucial to you, and they want to make it affordable, Will.
Yeah, Ramon, you can save big this month. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus an extra 10% off, plus no interest for 2 years. Make no payments for 2 years. You won't have to deal with those monthly payments, a down payment, or interest until 2027. You can call Window Nation now at 866-90NATION or head online to windownation.com. Save big this month. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus an extra 10% off and no interest for 2 years. Online at windownation.com. That's Window Nation. Call them at 866-90NATION.
It's Ramon Foster for All-American Pest Control, one of the best pest control companies around, the best, because I'll tell you this, I use them, and they are flawless with the stuff that they do around my house. They were just there last week doing their fall spraying, and I'm here to tell you this, man. We hate those stink bugs just like you do, the box elder bugs, Asian lady beetles that try to invade your home every Friday. Soon as the temperature go down, you start to see those little brown bugs coming out. Well, guess what? Let All-American Pest Control help you, man. Don't wait until they're crawling on your walls or freaking your kids out. Get ahead of it now with their Complete Care Max program. You can bundle mosquito control, pest control, yard treatments, and termite protection with Centricon. They service 8 times a year. I told you they were just out to my house, man. Plus, free reservice if pests get back while on the plan. You can mix and match them however you need to. No hidden fees, no pushy sales, just a peace of mind is what you get, man. The technicians show up on time and with a smile to help you have comfort inside of your home. They are a locally owned, family-owned company and are proudly local, man. Been serving Middle Tennessee for over 60 years. Again, to buck like I do or to learn more about them, simply go to yuckbugs.com. Again, the website is yuckbugs.com.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, a 104.5 The Zone, locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins. And we stream the show live for you on a 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. So, Ramon, I thought the defense played well enough to give the Titans a chance, but the offense on the plus side of the 50 really struggled. More of the same. 175 yards, 3.8 yards per play, 2 for 11 on third down. 3 of their first 6 drives ended in Houston territory. The Titans had 1 drive in the third quarter. It lasted 2 minutes and 56 seconds. The Texans had the ball for the rest of the third quarter. They got to the Houston 45 and then had to punt. That's what consistently is happening, Ramon. They will get to the 45-yard line and then just stop and either take a sack, have a negative play in the run game, get stuffed, and then, oh, crap, it's 3rd and 10, and then it's either another sack, a pick, or an incompletion. What is the number one thing holding this offense back today, Ramon? Because it's not play caller, at least Brian Callahan's play calling, because Brian Callahan didn't call the plays yesterday.
There's no flow. There's a lack of execution in those moments when you're asking the team to do something. I think it is, at this point, somewhat predictable with how they're trying to run this offense. You see certain people stay. You see certain people in there, the way they're at the line of scrimmage. Yesterday, the one thing everybody's been asking for is having help for Oli Udoh off the edge. Then that help has to go over to the left side to help out Dan Moore also, because Peter and Dan are the ones that are giving up the sacks yesterday. And you say, well, Oli Udoh was clean. Well, that's because he was getting help. The offense has a governor on it at this point. Guys' inability to get open. When you're asking for chips on plays from the running back and the tight end, that's one less person that's out in the routes to go catch a football. There's just no good. And again, you're dealing with a rookie quarterback that teams are pressing. Teams are able to get pressure on him often. If you can't run the football and find a rhythm there, I feel like that's what we heard this team say last week. They got to find a rhythm, got to stay off schedule, got to be able to get first downs. Well, if it's not happening in the form of running the football, well, passing it is even worse. You can't roll out because guys understand Cam's tendencies of wanting to work outside of the box. That is something that I think needs to be cleaned up. When you look at the way the ball is getting to guys and how their inability to catch it, or the overthrows, or, again, the ball comes out super hot to guys, the element of having some touch, and not blaming him for how he throws. They got to adjust to how the quarterback is delivering the football to him. At this point, it just seems like they're not smart enough to make these plays or good enough to adjust to what other teams are doing to them. Like, the pressure is coming in the form of 4. That is hard to do work. And then when the offense can't get going, we're talking about the entirety of the team, the defense just get worn down. To consume the whole third quarter defensively, pretty much, that sucks for a team. Think about when you're on the college level with how Tennessee scores quickly, you send the defense right back out there. It'll wear you down. That's what's happening to this defense, too. And when there's no good that comes out of it, when you have the ability at times to put points on the board with Joey Sly, he misses bad also. When he's Mr. Clutch, there's no win. There's no side to side.
Indoor kicks.
No swirl. I think the confidence, the well-being of this team is just shot at this point. And again, I do look at the play calling offensively, because that is in a very offensive NFL. We're in the era of offense. And from high school, college, and the NFL. Arkansas as a team is able to get themselves back to being a good squad because they got an offense that can put up points. Like, there are bad teams that have been bad in college football that found offense. This team has yet to find it. You got an offensive head coach that has no ability to put points up on the board against an 0-3 team. If you can't put up points in this era in NFL football, it's a problem. Simply put, it's a problem.
Titans just did not do anything well on offense. They would get it inside the 50 and fizzle. Brian Callahan spoke post-game and agreed that there's not much they're doing well right now.
I mean, I think it's a reflection of all of us not doing anything well enough at this point. You know, that's players, that's coaches, that's everybody. I mean, we haven't found a way to win a game in a while, and I think that reflects on all of us.
On a day where it wasn't the sacks and it wasn't the penalties getting you on offense, just what was the issue?
Hard to say, hard to find a rhythm. I thought we ran the ball okay in spots. Still ended up getting in some long yardage things that were hard for us to overcome. We couldn't possess the ball. That was the hard part. We couldn't really take control of the offensive rhythm. We missed some throws. I think Cam's doing some good things, but he had some tough moments in this game. That's still a really good defense. And we didn't play well enough against them.
Titans had 4.6 yards per carry in the run game from Tony Pollard. That, I think, is the thing, Ramon, that's most frustrating to me out of this game is you ran the ball well enough to set up some good things in the pass game.
Mm-hmm.
There was no benefit from the groundwork that you laid with Tony Pollard, who was on pace for 100 yards at halftime, had his first 10-plus yard run in this game, gives you an explosive play with 21 yards. Everything explosive the Titans offense is doing right now, Ramon, is when Cam Ward creates off script. They are not creating any explosive plays within the framework of the offense, and that is a big red flag for all parties right now.
It is. And also the way defensive ends are attacking, they're either trying to like get upfield and flush him up to make him go outwards, and DBs have eyes on him to close out on him. Again, I think we saw that with the Aziz Shire hit on him on the sideline.
Which, by the way, he's going to get fined for that. 100% a 15-yard penalty. I mean, just no question. No question. And for a player that has a reputation also, I don't know how the ref is not watching him extra closely. That was a stone-cold miss. And if Cam Ward was not a rookie, and if Cam Ward had earned a little bit more respect in this league, that is at least a 15-yard penalty, plus probably $50,000 out of Aziz's pocket.
That's how you know you bad, when you don't get the most obvious situations like that.
And that's who Aziz is as a player.
Man.
Aziz as a player does that kind of stuff all the time. He is a reckless football player that should have been penalized and will be fined for that. No doubt. I'm speaking for myself, not you, when I say that, considering all the important things you do. But I am saying, Will is saying this morning that he's going to get fined. Let's go to the phones. Lamont is in Nashville leading us off. What's up?
I just don't get it, man. How y'all doing today? I'm sorry.
I was about to say, Lamont, at least say hi this morning.
I'm sorry. It's just frustrating Monday, It's frustrating Monday. But it's just the offense. Like, the defense kept us in the game till halftime. And we couldn't move past the 50. And once we got past the 50, what we do? Go backwards. Like, I don't get what the players... I know we missing some key players, but it's just like, bro, step up. Like, you've been playing football your whole life. Like, y'all supposed to know the snap count. Y'all supposed to know where to line up. Like, catch the ball. Cam Ward played horrible yesterday. I'm sorry saying number one pick played horrible. Too many off-target throws. And it's just like, it's frustrating watching this team week after week. But, hey, I'm a Titans fan, and I just wanted to let that out this morning.
Man, we appreciate that.
Y'all have a good one.
Thank you for the call, Lamont. Appreciate it.
I will say, too, I think we're starting to see him play outside of himself, too.
It's pressing. And you knew he was going to have one of these games, too, where a good defensive front and a good defensive coordinator was just going to make life really hard on him. Do you think this was Cam's worst performance so far in a Titans jersey?
I do. I absolutely do. And I think the weight of everything that was around him while being in Houston, the storylines that they were told of his church pretty much not having service yesterday, 1,200 people coming to see him.
Crazy.
Somebody I saw on social media said they need to go apologize to his pastor for not having Sunday service to come watch that hellish game yesterday. But here's what happens with guys that have the mentality like he does. And I think that's the reason you get a lot of that emotions out of Jeff, too. Those dudes try to go over and beyond and do extra and throw extra strain in it when you don't have to. I feel like we saw yesterday Cam throw too many of the sidearms to try to whip it into places where there just wasn't anybody open. And it's because the places that he's been at on the lower level from college and high school and stuff like that, he's been able to pull guys out to be better than everyone out on the field. Cam at this point isn't better than everybody out on the field.
Neither is his team.
And not exactly when you don't have the support.
You're right. Right. Most everywhere he has played in his college career, in almost every single game that he played, he had the better football team.
He did.
That is no longer the case. Now, he deserves time and a lot of patience to adjust to that. Understandably so.
Mm-hmm.
But this coaching staff doesn't have that kind of time, do they?
No.
And a game like this where Cam struggles, 10 of 26, 108, interception, I'm starting to see symptoms of what really was my biggest concern about drafting Cam Ward, Ramon. Him starting to rush plays. Because when the play starts to break down so quickly in your inability to protect against 4, Cam again, and I thought in this game more so than any other game so far, is not trusting what's in front of him to let a play develop long enough to find the open man. Because again, Ramon, I sound like a broken record, but again, these are the same issues. Players are open.
Yeah.
The scheme is not the problem. It's just not. The play caller is not the problem. Guys are open right now. You have a mix of an offensive line that can't protect against less rushers than they have to block, a quarterback that is bailing out of the pocket quickly at the first sign of trouble, and a lack of a number one wide receiver that you can just go to the second you need to go somewhere with the football that can immediately get open with separation. You're lacking 3 elements of a functional offense. And Ramon, the sad thing is you don't even really have one of those right now. You don't have separation. You don't have a quarterback that can hang in and find a second read. And you don't have an offensive line that can protect against good pass rush.
There's no fear against this.
That is the way I am seeing it. Now, yes, Brian Callahan and the coaching staff deserve not all of the blame. Like, ultimately, they are accountable for what happens. When you have the same issues over and over again, the people that are putting players in those positions are the ones that are held accountable for it. So I'm not letting anyone off the hook. But on the list of things that are wrong with the Tennessee Titans right now, Ramon, scheme is maybe not even top 5.
No.
Just on offense.
It's trash. Here's just to revisit the spring. We were somewhat casted as haters for saying you don't want Cam right now. Trade back, get more assets, get better talent. Take that first-round pick and try to build this franchise up from the bottom up. Now we're seeing the results of putting the cart before the horse, I feel like, more than anything. I've seen quarterbacks, and we've seen it historically at other franchises, be ruined because the team can't support it or the coach isn't right for the time at that moment. I do believe a coach and a quarterback have to be in sequence with one another. They have to be. And I don't think this situation is proven to be that, although I think they absolutely love each other and like working with one another. But the way this team is set up to just beat you the hell down and try to figure out if you can do something. Like, football isn't a let me figure this thing out. You go into weekends with a game plan that you absolutely believe in, and none of these game plans I feel like they have offensively have been good enough. And then, of course, you have on the other side of it, 2nd and 33, and you're giving that up too?
Just a go ball to Nico Collins.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
I know.
In the city where Mike Jones is the only one we ever say who.
Yeah, and it was a man coverage play where L'Jarius doesn't put hands on Nico Collins. And it's like he's in zone. And there's no help over the top. And he just gets beat. Not good. Not good. And in that moment, not good enough complimentary football from the defense, who was asked to do a lot in this game yesterday. Let's go back to the phones. Mike is in Cleveland next. Hey, Mike.
Morning, Mike.
Yo, good morning. Hey,
Morning.
so, yeah, man, y'all know I've been calling for years. I ain't never been the fan to be like, yeah, we need to fire this guy and all this other stuff, but I'm okay with going ahead and firing Callahan because pretty much, man, you know, he was sold as somebody that will come in, develop an offense, start developing players, something that's been like a Achilles heel for the Titans organization. We might have guys that are talented, but we don't put them in a system where they can succeed. So Callahan was sold as the guy who would be able to do that. And we see that he's not the guy. We see that he's just pretty much inexperienced. We see Cam digressing Yeah, Moan, you already know I was somebody that I was, team trade back myself. But, now we have Cam. He looks good. I'm happy that it looks like we finally have a quarterback that looks good, but I don't think we have a coach that's really, putting him in a place to be successful. So, we've been patient. After the first game, be patient. Give it time. We didn't did that. We see the writing on the wall. Let's go ahead and do what needs to be done so that, Cam isn't ruined. And then all this talk of we practiced hard, we had a good Thursday practice. Yeah, y'all were going over fundamentals, tackling and wearing glasses to keep your eyes on the ball. Yeah, y'all did that hard, but obviously it's not developing into anything that's successful. So we see the writing on the wall. Let's go ahead and do what we need to do.
Thank you, Mike. Ramon, are you at that point too?
I've been very slow to go with this conversation in general. It's just gotten worse. Football is production based. Sports is like that too. The moment you start to decline, teams will kick a player out quickly. It's time to get them out of here, or let's cut them and elevate somebody else. Yeah. It's just hasn't moved forward.
Do you think it's time to make a change?
Yeah. In the last 2 years, there hasn't been any forward movement with the entirety of the team. I think all that we thought about special teams, you see that it could be bad because other stuff is bad too. I do think his morale that he has around the team with the guys has been somewhat good. He's got them somehow locked in, but that's nothing if the product on the field isn't good. The fight and strain to overcome situations when you're going into the teeth of it, I hadn't seen that much at all. Not even a little bit. The best moments that you had as a coach, the absolutely best moment that you had to say, yeah, this could be perfect, was Will Levis Atlanta. That is it.
And that was under Mike Vrabel.
That was Vrabel? God.
Yeah, that wasn't Brian Callahan.
You're right. In the last, 3 years, it's been the best moment. Miami was a struggle to win.
That was the moment you had the most hope.
Yeah.
That and winning in Miami on Monday Night Football. But again, Mike Vrabel, Will Levis is a rookie.
But even think about last year, right, in Miami. That was a struggle to win. There was a race to get 31 points as a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
What other wins? The Patriots, they were one of the worst teams last year under first-year head coach Gerard Mayo.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the other win was Houston. And a surprise, those are your three highlights as a head coach. You probably are a great person. I know he is. I've met him. Callahan's super cool dude. I just think he's in over it right here for what this franchise needs.
615-737-1045. Your phone calls and reaction are next.
It's Ramon Foster, Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, man. Nobody wants to deal with a plumbing, HVAC, or an electrical emergency. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost if it get fixed right, or if somebody's just trying to sell you something you don't need. But when you call Hiller, the experts are going to solve your problems quickly. And the price you're told is the price that you will actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. Hiller has been in business for over 35 years and a family-owned and operated. The techs are very professional, experienced, and trustworthy in all background and drug screen too. When they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of the tech and a link to track them in real time. So you're not wasting time waiting around for somebody and guessing when they're going to show up. They simply just do good work. Hiller was out at my place this past week, man, and got one of our HVAC units taken care of. And guess what, man? Works amazingly. So to learn more about Hiller or to book with them the way I do, visit the website at happyhiller.com.
Monday morning on a Morning Will is fueled by Scooter's Coffee, 615-737-1045. The Titans are 0-4. Brian Callahan insists this team is still showing effort. And you'll hear about that in just about 15 minutes. We'll play you the highlight of yesterday's post-game press conference after the 26-0 defeat to the Houston Texans. We go next to the phones where Eric is in Nashville.
Hey, guys. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good morning, Eric.
Guys, y'all have to forgive me. I'm a little bit under the weather this morning. So, guys, I get home from church yesterday, a little over 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. So I decided, well, you know what? I got something I got to do around the neighborhood. So I went out, was gone for like about 30, 40 minutes to get back. About midway through the third quarter, guys. And it's just, ain't much changed. Guys, like, it was on the postgame show yesterday. This team is just so unwatchable. I heard a postgame show where one guy called in to actually said he fell asleep during the game. I mean, the Texans definitely knew they were going to win this game yesterday. That's what I heard in the postgame. It's like, you know, we don't have to do much. We're going to win this game. It was like you could just tell just the way the game went yesterday, guys. It was just so frustrating to watch this team just go out there. It kind of reminds me of like nature films where it was like the predator after its prey, and the prey's thinking it's going to get away, and they said, "No, I got you. There's nothing you can do." That's just basically the way to me I felt about this game. I mean, guys. It just left me speechless, and this team is just so hard to watch. Guys, I'll get off. Y'all take care, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Eric. What is one of our mottos, Ramon, in terms of coaches and job security in any level of football? It is hard to be boring and bad.
Oh, can't be boring and bad.
The Titans right now are unfortunately boring and bad.
Predictable, too.
Mm-hmm.
Very predictable.
It's a fair point. Henry is in Lebanon up next. What's up, Henry?
Ramon, Will, good morning.
Good morning, Harry.
I wanted to talk about two different people. Normally I'm talking about Callahan, but I don't have anything to say about him this morning. L'Jarius Sneed, man, how can you not put hands on this guy? I mean, set 2 and 33, it's disgusting. It's upsetting. And Sly, man, missing those field goals. I don't have any worries this morning.
Yeah, I know. Sneed gonna have to eat that one.
Thank you, Henry.
Sneed, it was that one. It was other times in the game, too. It's just like, where are you? What are you doing? He looked lost.
There was a third down throw in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I believe it was 3rd and 8 where he's just beaten in man coverage and beaten there by Nico Collins. And the sad thing is I just done a hit as well on Titans radio about how, hey, L'Jarius Sneed, made headlines this week saying who? And talking about Nico Collins, and quarterbacks coach Tony Oden says that they have a ton of respect for the opponent, but he preaches to his corners, you are covering a nameless, faceless opponent, saying we want things to be about us. And that's great. That's great. And then the second I said that, maybe L'Jarius heard me, and he gave up the 2nd and 33. I mean, it's just not good.
No.
It's not good. And it's either that or it's the illegal contact early in the game that negates what would have been the end of a drive for the Texans offense. Yeah. But it's illegal contact and a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down. Apparently somebody in the press box said, that was a nice tip of the cap to Jarvis Brownlee, who's not here anymore. Get a penalty to give the offense a first down.
Not okay. When you look at Joey Sly's situation too, and Sneed, like, they've been proven to be good, right? Like, they've played good football. Why have these guys taken a nosedive in their performances? That's why, in my mindset, is like, well, you got to blame, I guess, the curator of where they are right now.
Somebody's got to be held accountable for it.
Yeah.
But how quickly? We'll see. We go next to Dave in Mount Juliet. What's up, Dave?
Hey, good morning, fellas. How are you?
Good.
Hey, I'm going to just carry on with the theme of the morning. I told your producer, I'm not sure if it's just me projecting or just seeing what I want to see out there, but early in the broadcast, they kept showing Cam's father, and he had his chin in his hands, and he just looked like he just was there because he had to be. I think Cam and his father are close. I know how I am with my father. We talk about things that are going on, it's like his father heard that, we can't win. I mean, this what we're doing out here, Dad, it just ain't going to work. And early on, his dad looked a lot different. That first game, there were guys dropping the ball. A drop by Ridley, his dad just looked like, oh, my gosh, man, my son put it right in your hands. You got to catch this ball. And now it's not there. There's nothing there. It's a recurring theme from everyone yesterday that this was the worst, maybe the worst game they've ever seen, the Titans ever play. It's just that bad. And when you ask that question about what's happened to Snead, what's happened to Sly, I mean, we all know what it is. No one believes anymore. And that's an indictment on the coach. And so, I mean, we're just carrying on the inevitable now. If he's not gone this week, which I'm not saying he has to be, but if he's not gone this week, then we know what Sunday is. If he's not gone the next week, then we know what the next Sunday is. Because this team no longer believes in Callahan, even if they like him. They don't think what the Titans are doing is ever going to work. And I don't think anybody does. So, hey, have a good one, fellas.
You too.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate the call. I thought there was one thing, if I'm being picky on Bo Hardegree's play calling debut, Ramon, I thought there was one thing the Titans could have done a little bit more in the second half.
What's that?
I thought they got away from the run game a little bit too much. And Tony Pollard had 5 missed tackles forced in this game, 20 missed tackle yards at his rushing attempts against the Texans, both of those season highs. Tony Pollard accounted for 64 of the Titans' 134 total yards on offense. However, the Titans called 16 designed runs in this game. That is their fewest in any game this season. The game wasn't out of reach until, 18 or 19-0?
Yeah.
Late?
Yeah.
Do you think the Titans could have stuck with the run game a little bit more in the second half?
That's also, do I think they could have? Yes. But I feel like teams are going to allow the Titans to try to run the football because when it gets down to the tight red zone, they shut them down. Or it's better offensively, and a lot of people don't want to hear this, it's better offensively to throw the football in the tight red zone. Like, you got a lot of that.
They didn't even get to the tight red zone. They couldn't get to the red zone.
But
they got to the 40-yard line.
The pressing to get 7 points up on the board, too, so you feel like you need to pass it. Cam's asking for it. And, again, I continue to say this, too. Cam doesn't know what's good for him. Don't allow him to dictate everything that you want to do offensively. I'm not sure if he's asking to throw the football. They feel like he should be throwing the football a whole lot more. But as a coach, you got to be sure about what you're calling and have the guys believe in every play that they're going to run. Like, again, you mentioned this game. It was 6-0. It was 6-0 after the third quarter.
Yeah, right. Right.
And I think Bo, if I'm looking at how some coordinators work, was itching to get 6 points up on the board quickly. I feel like the team that scored a touchdown was going to win this, and it was the Texans, and they won the game. There's no answers for this. There's no synergy in it. There's absolutely no ability to stick to the plan because every time you attempt to stick to the plan, too, Will, just watching the flow of these first 4 games, something bad happens. You'll get a false start. You get a drop that's not supposed to be a drop. You'll also get a non-call that potentially could put you in the first and goal in the red zone. You don't get those types of things. So the ability to believe in your process that Bo potentially had, it fizzled.
I didn't think it was a bad debut by any means in terms of the plays that Bo called. I mean, obviously he scored 0 points. Everyone is kind of held accountable and gets blamed for that. But I didn't think it was terrible. But I did think that was one area where they could have done better, is stick with the run game a little bit more in the second half. Coming up, Brian Callahan insists that the Titans don't have an effort problem. You'll hear from him coming up next.
If you haven't been to Genesis Diamonds in Green Hills recently, you need to stop in and see what they have done. I've actually went through the reconstruction of it. Genesis has a totally reimagined, brand new state-of-the-art showroom. This is the most beautiful, most modern, most incredible jewelry showroom in America. It's double the size of the old showroom. Tons of new showcases, an artisan coffee bar, a relaxed and comfortable customer lounge. It's luxurious, but warm and inviting at the same time. This is a jewelry showroom that sets new standards and is a reflection of the quality you get at Genesis every today. There's also an entirely new section devoted to luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Genesis now has one of the best Rolex collections in America. We're so lucky to have Genesis here. Unbeatable value, unrivaled selection, uncompromising standards. They're celebrating 20 years in Nashville, but they're not resting. They keep pushing forward, making your experience better than ever. The new showroom proves it. Check it out. It's in Green Hills, and don't forget, they're also open in Cool Springs. Genesis Diamond, my jeweler.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
.701, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans fall to 0-4 on the season after a 26-0 shutout loss to the Houston Texans on Sunday. This is the first time the Titans have started a season 0-4 since back in the 2009 season, and the first time they were shut out in a game since Week 6 against the Denver Broncos in 2019. The Titans were outgunned 353 yards to 175, and quarterback Cam Ward threw for just 108 yards and an interception. Elsewhere in the NFL, Sunday Night Football, the Micah Parsons Show returns to Dallas. The Green Bay Packers and Dallas Cowboys ended in a 40-40 tie in overtime. It's the first tie of the NFL season this year. In college, Saturday, the Tennessee Vols take down Mississippi State 41-34 in overtime to improve to 4-1 on the year. On the first play of overtime, Deshaun Bishop rushed for 25 yards for the score, and then the Vols defense went to work, holding strong in securing the win. The Vols are now headed for the bye week. And the Arkansas Razorbacks have fired head coach Sam Pittman after 6 seasons and named Bobby Petrino the interim head coach. Arkansas lost 56-13 at home on Saturday to Notre Dame. Tennessee will play Arkansas up next on October 11th. And Nashville Soccer Club, they're headed back to the MLS Cup playoffs for the 5th time in the club's 6-year history after a 3-1 win over the Houston Dynamo FC at Geodis Park on Saturday night. Hani Mukhtar, Sam Surridge, and Andy Nahar all got on the score sheet. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into hour number 2. The full crew back together in studio and streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. He's Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins at the controls. I'm Will Bowling. Your phone calls at 615-737-1045. What are you laughing about over there?
Because
there's no laughing matter this morning, Ramon. Dang it.
But it is, and I'm going to bring it right back to our topic this morning because I was about to say Twitch please, and I thought about our Twitch please homie, Babsy.
Mm-hmm.
As Cam goes to the podium and drop a bomb again. Drop a F-bomb again.
Yes.
Players curse, Babs.
Yes.
I told Savage last night, he said she just texted me, said, I'm waiting for a text from Ramon. You're damn right you are.
Dawn, who had a great one on Saturday.
Oh, I don't even know where she was at.
She had your boy Haynes Kings come back for Georgia Tech.
Saw that.
To beat Wake Forest.
I didn't know Babs was
in overtime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all can bond over your love for Haynes King, your favorite college football player that doesn't play for Tennessee.
And he probably curses too.
That's probably true.
But
that is probably true.
That also show you Cam's frustration.
Titans lose 26-0. The reason why Cam was cussing post-game is because the Titans just couldn't get anything going on offense. Less than 4 yards per play. An offense that does not reach 200 total yards. This from Nick Suss of the Tennessean. A Titan stat for the, quote, it can't get worse crowd. Yesterday was the 3rd time in 4 games the Titans offense was held below 4 yards per play. Last year, when the team was, quote, or asterisk, the worst in the National Football League, the Titans had 1 such game. So last year, the Titans had 1 game where they were below 4 yards per play. This year, they already have 3, and it's week 4.
Yeah, I did see that come across, man. But again, when we speak about what you're being asked to do as a coach, what you was brought in for, you're not doing those things. And here's the other part of it, too. Like we mentioned earlier, like, okay, the talent isn't there. There's other teams that got better talent than you do. Well, here's the good part about being a coach. It's your job to coach them up, at least in the scheme, the belief, or the idea that you can still compete. Looking at this team this past weekend and just over the course of this year, especially towards the end of last year, you're not seeing them push the way you want them to. I've seen guys with lesser talents give more on other teams. I've seen teams have backups on squads before, and you don't see a drop-off the way you do with even with the starters on this team. Like, and of course, giving up your play calling to somebody else and it still looks the same. The book of it is bad. The ability to scheme up wins isn't there. It's just none of it's believable at this point. It sucks to be in a position where you feel as if there's no out. And I feel like that's where this team is. As a pro, you don't work all your life to be in these type of situations. And for Cali too. Like this is something that sticks with you for a very long time as a player and as somebody that's trying to be one of the best in the world.
Brian Callahan was asked after the game, is this team still resilient in putting in the effort that you want to see. And he had this to say.
I mean, all I know is what I see every day, and they show up. They work. We work in practice. I did not anticipate a result like that coming up in a game. The attitude, the energy, the things they do during the week, like there's nothing that would point to that there's any kind of lack of those things, you know. And we fought our tails off in the game. And again, we're not playing well enough. We're not executing things at a high enough level to win. And it's certainly not for lack of an intent and lack of effort and lack of focus. I mean, we're trying to do all the things that we need to do to win a football game, and everything during the week, the guys work. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, we had one of our best Thursday practices of the week, so it's hard to stomach that when you practice the way we practice, then you show up in a game and it looks like that.
Brian Callahan says the Titans had one of their best Thursday practices of the week and then showed up and lost 26-0 in Houston. What's your reaction to that?
Laughable. Because it's a controlled environment where you as a coaching staff set up plays to execute perfectly. That's the thing about where it sucks to him saying it out loud is it's not about you against your team in this moment. Your job is to be against what the Houston Texans are as a squad on game day, your in-game adjustments, your ability to execute as a team and as a coaching staff. That's lacking clearly on game day. Practice is comfortable. There is no anxiety in it. There's absolutely no pressure in what practice is. Perfect plays, yeah, they are going to be perfect because you know what they're going to present to you. So, again, it's on coaches to deliver in that moment more than I feel like it is the player. No player wants to get their head literally beat in every single play, and for it not to work, that's on you as a coaching staff to drag those guys out of those moments and scheme up and honestly pressure your staff to put them in better situations. It's laughable to say that out loud.
When you feel like the plan is put in place the way that you want it to as a staff on Thursday, and then the plan is not executed to the point where you have 0 points and less than 4 yards per play on Sunday, that is an indictment on the plan.
Yeah. Yes. This is Hugh Freeze saying I don't want my quarterback having a hard practice. It's that level. Like, you can't allow that to be words that come out of your mouth. Like, you get to the stadium and you turn into Coach Klein.
Something is not connecting in the way that this system and scheme is being taught for when the lights come on Sundays. You can chalk some of that up to Cam Ward struggling yesterday and maybe having his worst performance in a Titans jersey so far, which is to be expected of a rookie quarterback who's going to have ups and downs. You can chalk it up to the offensive line going up against a really good defensive front. Danielle Hunter, who picked up 2 more sacks. Will Anderson, who came into the game leading the league in pressures on that defensive front. Or you could chalk it up to, again, more dropped passes that are hitting fingertips and not being hauled in. Whatever you chalk it up to, the fact of the matter is this team is not close to being good enough today. And unfortunately, that is a reflection on the staff that is putting those players in those positions. When we get to this point and we're having the same conversations over and over again, it is an indictment on the people putting that plan in place because they are telling us that the plan is being installed and put together the right way during the week. And that's the challenge for Brian Callahan at this point is it's hard to defend much of what that plan is yielding on the field.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the phones. Chris is in Hermitage. What's up, Chris?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call, as always. Yeah, that was a very tough product to watch on Sunday, but, I mean, I try to be somewhat optimistic and be like, there was one bright spot, at least I thought so. Cedric Gray, that dude's a dude. He went out there and played hard. I think he finished like 17 tackles or something like that. Wasn't perfect by any stretch, but, I mean, I think the Titans got a guy, at least for the foreseeable future, in what is a very bleak situation. But my question for y'all is, obviously a lot of people are calling for Callahan to get axed, which I get. And I'm just trying to think, where's the win in it? I don't know. It's like, I'm not rooting against the guy. I mean, he's obviously not coaching very well right now, but then it feels like if they do go ahead and axe him 4 weeks into the season, we're pretty much conceding the whole season. Basically going to be talking about how much the Titans suck and maybe how high of a draft pick they'll take. And I don't know if that's the right direction or do you stick with him and see if he can right the ship? What do y'all think? I just want to hear y'all's take. Appreciate y'all as always. Have a good day.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate the call. We're going to talk more about the job security stuff because there are people calling for Brian Callahan to be let go. We'll react to a lot of that noise at 9:20 this morning. But Ramon, just giving a sneak peek of that to Chris's question about giving up this early. You just said in hour one that You're on board with that at this point.
Yeah, I am. And I have not been.
You are very slow to fire anybody.
Yeah. But the way this looks in a product, it's just, I thought you was driving with 3 full tires. Like now your whole back end is on flat tires at this point. You're trying to crawl to a gas station, and there's not one for the next 50 miles. That's just the way I see it at this point.
Yep.
The answer as to who's next to run the ship, at this point, what do you have to lose? I'll give more in the 920, but you're driving on 2 flat tires at this point.
To the caller's point about Cedric Gray being a bright spot, I totally agree. 17 tackles, 1 TFL in this game, a quarterback hit. I'll tell you the other positive, Ramon. And it's kind of a bright side and a downside because you're kind of wasting it. This is the best Jeffrey Simmons that you have ever seen in the National Football League. Ever. I'm serious. He had 4 TFLs yesterday. All 4 of his 5 tackles were TFLs, including a sack where he recorded the fastest sack in the NFL this season. And I believe it was 2.03 seconds. I know we've gotten a lot of comments, a lot of calls about trading Jeffrey Simmons. No. And we'll get more into that later because I think you're on the other side of it anyway as well. But Jeffrey Simmons is fantastic at what he does right now. And that's despite double teams. That's despite no Tavondre Sweat with him. That's despite edge rushers who are kind of learning on the job. And Femi Oladejo, who I also thought had his best game in a Titans jersey yesterday, albeit in a loss. But I'm telling you, I think it is really unfortunate that this defense is kind of wasting elite Pro Bowl level play from Jeffrey Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
615-737-1045 is our number. How concerning was Cam Ward's performance yesterday, and what worries you the most about a bad day at the office for the number 1 overall pick and rookie quarterback of the Tennessee Titans? That's next. What's up? Will Bowling here for my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. It is my guilty pleasure during football season, eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching the big game. It's also easy to take to a tailgate. Just pop in the fridge to pop it back out, put it in a container, put it on the table, boom. You're going to be the most popular person at your tailgate or at your watch party. Well, Daisy has this delicious French onion dip, the ranch dip. I love the thickness of it, the consistency, the flavor, and the fact that it tastes homemade. I mean, I couldn't make something this good, but it does taste like a homemade dip from the person in your friend group that is the best chef. Real herbs and spices, plus other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. So go try it. Try it with chips, with wings, with veggies, whatever you're dipping. Make sure you're dipping it in Daisy French Onion Dip this football season. You can find that at a grocery store near you. That's Daisy French Onion Dip. Get it anywhere at the grocery store nearest you. Do you have a plumbing issue at home? Whether it's a leaky faucet, maybe you got a clogged drain, it's that water heater that has gone cold. You've been putting it on your to-do list up on the fridge, but you've been putting it off. Well, the plumbing professionals at Lead Company, they have your back. Available 24/7 year-round, Lead Company's licensed technicians can save you time, money, and all the stresses that come with an ill-timed plumbing issue. You can contact their award-winning team at leadcompany.com. Or you can call them at 615-567-1000. Lead Company is available 24/7 14 community locations, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Alabama, and you can just hand them that to-do list. Lead Company is going to take care of things for you quickly and efficiently. With 1,100 plus vehicles in their fleet, over 1,800 employees, they'll also be out there quickly to help you out. Check them out online, leadcompany.com. Contact their award-winning team today at 615-567-1000. That's Lead Company, all you need. Ramona Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee, a 104.5 The Zone, locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Our college football hour is coming up in 1 hour. Vols surviving in Starkville, Alabama, upsetting Georgia. Vanderbilt's going to be on College Game Day this weekend. James Franklin did it again. And by it, I mean losing the big one again. All of that coming up in hour 3 this morning. But until then, Titans talk and your phone calls at 615-737-1045. Cam Ward yesterday struggled. 10 completions out of 26 attempts, 108 yards and 1 interception. Ramon, what concerned you most, and how concerned are you about yesterday's performance from the starting quarterback?
I'm getting more concerned because as a pro, as a football player, as an athlete in general, people, hell, anybody at this point, you got to have moments of good stuff. You got to have some success. You need to see that your plan actually works. It's almost at a point, and I'm sure for Cam, he got to probably wonder, is it the team or is it me? Like, he's seen more success in college or Incarnate Word than he's ever seen here in the times that he's been an NFL quarterback. The most bothersome point of it for me is this. As I said before, you run more of the pathway of other franchises that have had quarterbacks like this that have simply ruined him. The quick change could stop his growth. It could put a halt in his development. It could put a halt in his mindset, his thinking. You got to be careful with franchise quarterbacks. Again, I've said this all the time. It's the 52 other players, and then it's the quarterback. He's almost in a boat with them with how his inability to make them better. He has his faults. He's pressing right now. There's no for sure certain game plan that's actually working for him except for the off-script stuff. The confidence level of your play goes down when you don't see success. And that's where I feel like he is as a football player right now more than any other time in his playing career. The uncertainty of losing your play calling, Coach Brian Callahan, and having to work with a new voice in Bo Hardigree, and then that doesn't work. Where am I to go? There's no way up with how you process what he's doing as a quarterback right now. I know it ain't all his fault because there was some drops that happened, but his completion percentage yesterday follows him. I think it was about 38% completion percentage.
10 of 26 is well below 50.
Well below.
In the NFL, you need to be around, 60 to 65?
I'll even take a 59 at this point.
This was Cam Ward speaking post-game. He was asked, were you a little more off than usual? And then on the follow-up, gives a long assessment of where the Titans are right now.
Not really. Some of them got to be throwaways in some situations. And then some of them was just me not putting the ball where it needed to go.
Sorry, that's the first way, but what's not going right for this offense where you guys just can't get on track?
Everything from interception to a penalty to an incompletion by me, a bad ball. And then once we pass the 50, we just not continuing the drive. So, I mean, if we keeping the buck right now, we 0-4. We have, at this point, we got nothing to lose. We dropped a quarter of our games, and we've yet to do anything. So we have to lock in, especially myself on the offensive line, from the defensive line, from the special teams to all three faces. We have to play together. We have not played together this year yet. And that's just something that, we want to preach about it every day. Every day we got to do better, and we're doing that, but it has to show up on Sundays. It hasn't showed up yet, but it got to show up next week.
So that was Cam Ward saying, we ass. Saying if I'm going to keep it a buck, which for those of you who don't speak Gen Z means you're going to keep it real. An honest assessment of where they are. Then Cam Ward was asked, is this on coaching? Is this on scheme? What isn't being executed well enough on offense? And Cam continues to come to the defense of his head coach, Brian Callahan.
I would say, honestly, just not being consistent. And that falls into the execution standpoint, and whether I have a bad ball, whether I need to throw it away. But also the biggest thing is every time we get in a long situation or get back on track situation, the drive always ends. In the NFL, it's hard to play on second and long. It's hard to play on third and long. So that's the biggest thing. Like, we have to execute plays every play. It can't just be whether we get a big run or a big package or a spurt. Like, we got to just be consistent.
What is it about the coaching staff that's maintaining your faith right now?
It's nothing about the coaching staff. At the end of the day, they put together a good plan for us. We're not executed as players. Offensively, like, we just have to make the plays. Like, at the end of the day, every pass concept is winnable versus man or zone, no matter what they got to. I got to get through the progression. I got to put the ball in my receiver plan, in the receiver hands. At the end of the day, they got to make plays too.
What gives you the confidence that the plan is good or that it will work when you haven't seen its results yet?
Say that again?
What gives you the confidence that the plan is good or that the plan will work when you haven't felt or seen the results yet?
Because it's there. Like, I'm watching the film on the sideline. It's there. It's just, whether it's a bad play by me or a bad play by one of the 11, like, it's just not clicking when it needs to click. It has to click every drive, and it's not doing that yet. And so, I mean, the biggest thing is the urgency. I think up front, those guys, they were gritty today. In the run game and the pass game, they went against a good defensive line up there. And, I mean, from an offense standpoint, we just have to be consistent. It's 4 games, and we own 4. Why? Because we're inconsistent.
That's Cam Ward speaking yesterday after the game. Ramon, he's putting a lot of the blame on himself. Is he right, or is this just a leader taking accountability?
A leader taking accountability, but it's his side of it, though, too. He's not clear from blame himself also. Like, we mentioned it early in the year, earlier this season, like, they also have to set him up to get the ball out quick. If he's asking for long development plays, this ain't your offense right now. Not right now. There's no setup to what you're being asked to do. The plan being good, I would actually push back on the plan being good. That's the way either I feel like the defenses that they've seen have dictated more about the plan than them actually putting the defense on their heels. And that's the part. To me, I know it's not the same thing, but it's similar. But I'm watching the San Francisco 49ers yesterday. The way they put Brock Purdy in a position to be successful, and I would think Cam Ward is a better athlete, better arm than what Brock Purdy has. But the schemes and how they're setting up the screen game have him rolling. And he's not an overly athletic guy, but he also likes to work out of the pocket too. So I do question the scheme a little bit more. The undressing of the offense, of the defense when they put guys in motion and move them around and stuff like that. Like, we're not seeing that variation that you need on a team like this. Teams, like, running the triple option in high school. What teams usually run that? Small, bad teams, small town
undersized teams. And teams with a talent gap, team with a talent deficiency.
And it's to try to create an advantage. Mm-hmm. I don't see this offense trying to create an advantage. I see an offense trying to just say, hey, line them up and go beat them. It's not there yet. For an offensive-minded head coach and Coach Callahan and Bo Hardigree at this point now, you have to be able to do those things. We're not seeing it.
And when you try to get run solutions, as they call them, and throw screens that get guys open on the perimeter away from the offensive line that struggled, they get a penalty for a illegal man downfield or for blocking the back that was called on Lloyd Cushenberry yesterday that Callahan was livid about.
It was touch and go.
Livid about on the shoulder. Because usually they'll give you that. It's not as clearly called as most. But again, the worry with me about Cam is that he is not trusting what he is seeing in front of him and is bailing out of plays before he needs to and before he can get to his second read. Because a lot of the times, Ramon, his second or third read is open. And you don't totally blame him, but he's not hanging in the pocket or stepping up in the pocket long enough to get there because he's already been hit so much. He was sacked 15 times in his first 3 games. He's running for his life. So then when there is a clean enough pocket and somebody is open, the second he feels pressure, he's running for his life. Mm-hmm. So how do you fix that? To me, I agree. I think you've got to roll him out of the pocket more. I think you've got to get him on the move. You have to embrace the fact at this point, if you're Brian Callahan and Bo Hardigree, that Cam's best moments are happening when Cam does his own thing. And that is a really difficult place for a coach to be in because you are ceding control to a young quarterback who is still prone to make a lot of mistakes. But you don't have a better option at this point. You got to move him around and trust that if the play breaks down, Cam's either going to run for a first down like he did on a couple of occasions in this game yesterday or find an explosive play. Let's go back to the phones. Ken is in Houston. Up next. What's up, Ken?
Good morning, Ramon and Bill.
Morning.
I've been a fan of this franchise since I was 9 years old. So, of course, back when they was here in Houston, I'm 49 now. And all the time I've been a fan of this team, I've never seen from the top to the bottom the inability to put a quality franchise on the field. And under Adam Strunk, it has been far from that since her daddy passed. It's sad to say that it's only seemed to be going down. It make you consider, rooting for somebody else. And it's sad to say. But from what I've seen so far this season, this team definitely quit on Callahan in that right before halftime of the Rams game. And he hasn't gotten it back yet.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate the call. I do not think that they have quit on him. I don't. I just don't think they're very good. Two things can be separated.
I don't think they like him a lot.
Yeah. They haven't quit on him.
The Miss Amy conversation, it was something probably for a later day, but I definitely want to talk. One, she's not going to sell the team. All right, for sure. She's not going to sell the team. She won't sell the team. I wouldn't sell the team. I don't care if we went 0-17.
It's not smart business.
5 years in a row.
Considering the stadium that's about to open.
The business of the NFL is this. The top 16 cut a check to the bottom 16 if they're not making the money. This is a floating league. It's a growing league. There's so much money from everybody that gambles. Got YouTube, got ESPN, got everything. Xfinity, it don't matter. DirecTV, there's so much money coming in. So let's, as a fan base, as a listening group, let's stop them. She ain't going to sell it. I wouldn't sell it. You wouldn't sell it, okay?
Makes no sense. There's no reason
Makes no sense. The only thing I will say is this. No, Caleb, she will not sell it due to stress. I promise you.
Absolutely.
She got other ventures that are going on. The stress. Screw stress. I said stress with a C. Stress. Golly.
As you like to say from, what is it, Don Draper? That's what the money's for.
That's what the money's for. But to continue my point is this about how y'all feel about Miss Amy. She's not coaching it. She's not setting a game plan. She's not in a position to where it's her pulling the strings of it. What I would say is this, though, when it comes down to it. What is the information and where is it coming from with the decisions that are being made? I feel like I've said this before, but the way y'all feel about Miss Amy is the way you should also feel about yourselves, too. Because here's the thing, and I'm not putting blame on you guys, but here's what I will say about Miss Amy and how this thing has gone. She's acting just like you guys are as fans. You want her to fire somebody? She does. You want her to spend money in free agents? She does. You want her to get a new stadium? She did. You want more national notoriety? She's attempting to do that by all the people that you see inside of the stadiums that's making it more expensive for you to get there as fans now, where tickets and PSLs are high as hell. She's acting the way y'all want her to. She's doing it. Exactly. You want somebody gone, damn it, they're gone. Right? Like, at some point, the question, and the reason I'm bringing this up is this. You got to get to a point to where you got to figure out what information she's getting and why she's doing these things, though, too, that you perceive that she's doing. Meaning, I do believe she has a good bit of football knowledge and the business side of it. But the people surrounding that are pulling the strings and directing her also, you got to question those folks, too. It's more than just one person making the decision. The product on the field is what you're looking for, right? But why is the product continually looking like this? You got to settle in at some point and figure out the who, the whys, and the whats before it actually gets to the doggone state. Before it gets to the field.
Let's go to Andy in Clarksville up next. What's up, Andy?
I think I speak for all Titans fans when I say, come on. I've been an apologist for Coach Callahan saying patience. I'm done. I'm not sure what the disconnect is between a great plan and execution, but he seems to be the common theme here. The quarterback who shall not be named wasn't able to do it last year. We were seeing flashes of meh this year. Maybe lift him out, let Bones run the team for the rest of the season. What do we got to lose except for more games, which we seem to be doing regardless? So let's make a change and try and say something. I think that's just how we feel.
Thank you, Andy. Appreciate the call.
Andy.
I think a lot of people are there this morning. Even people who are being defensive of Callahan and of the plan. There's just not a whole lot of positives to hang your hat on to back up what the plan is at this point. Paul is in Franklin up next. Hey, Paul.
Morning, Paul.
Hey, good morning. It's great to be alive and be in Tennessee. Let me tell you something. Shout out to my balls. Man, that was a resilient win. We found a way to win down there in Starkville. Proud of my balls. We're moving on. Now, let's get back to them hapless Titans. Look, that young man speaking quarterback, Ward, that we got, that was not a rookie talking. He was more like a vet talking like that. I'm proud of that young man. That young man wants to win. And I think he's got a bright future ahead of him with us or with somebody else. I think he's a winner. But let's talk about the coach. You know what I got today? I got jury duty. I got jury duty today. Selected. This is the second time in 5 years I'm on jury. I'm jury duty. I don't know why they keep selecting me. But if I was on the jury and Brian Callahan was charged with being a coach that sucks, he is guilty, guilty, guilty. He's terrible. And this team has no identity, don't know what he wants to do out there on the field. He's terrible. He has to go. He is not the coach that we need to lead this team. And until we make a coach, get a different coach that lead this team, we're going to keep sucking. And that's the bottom line of it. And look, we all upset this morning. I'm still mad. And I'm trying to get over it because I got to go in this courthouse. But that being said, go Vols and tighten down.
Thank you, Paul. Justice is served.
Justice is served. Got nothing for Paul.
There's nothing more we need to add to that one. That one can just stand alone.
Exactly.
Vincent is up next. What's up, Vincent? Vincent?
Vincent, good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, we got you.
Morning, fellas. How we doing?
We're good.
This is my first time calling in.
Welcome.
I call myself a VFL, a Vol fan for life.
Okay.
And go my Vols. A bigger Cowboy fan than Titans, but like the Titans because they're here in Nashville. Mo, I'm with the guy pretty much just got off the phone with. I'm ready for Callahan to go. I've already got a plan picked out. I like Steve Magnolia or Spagnolia for the chief defensive coordinator, or the guy that was in Denver. That I think he's an African American guy that only got 1 year. I feel like he got a raw deal, didn't get a chance to try to prove himself. I think those two would be two good picks as a head coach for the Titans. I will lightly say tighten up. But I think I don't think Callahan is going to get anywhere. Well, Mo, let me see what I'm going to hang up and see what you think about that.
No doubt.
Thank you, Vincent.
Get what Will got to say.
I think he's talking
too.
about Brian Flores.
Or Vance Joseph.
Maybe.
One of the two.
Could be.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's got to, whoever the next person is, has to be a culture setter, has to be a respected individual, has to be somebody that's had plans before. I don't care if they black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Native American, it don't matter at this point. Whoever it is, it needs to be somebody that has the ability to write down a plan and have executed a plan at least once or twice in his career.
Yesterday, the Texans, Ramon, became the first team since the 1974 Cowboys to have a losing record through the first 4 games of the season, despite allowing fewer than 13 points per game. They got a good defense over there.
Shout out to Denard.
They got issues on offense, but the Houston Texans have an excellent defense. That's not letting anyone off the hook for the Titans. He scored 0 points. No one gets let off the hook. But I thought that was interesting yesterday from the AFC South perspective, Ramon. The Houston Texans have taken the step back, I think, that you and I expected them to in the offseason. Mm-hmm. But they haven't just taken one step back. They have, I guess, stepped on a crack and broken some backs in the process as they've gone backwards. They are a team with major issues, and they got Baltimore next, who is also 1-3. Big game. 615-737-1045. Totally loaded phone lines. We give you the chance to react more. Coming up next.
Synergex and Low T Center are the original MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy. They have been changing the lives of men across the country for over a decade. Since starting, a lot of other players, they have entered the field. But Synergex and Low T Center are the pros providing you with the most medically driven, results-focused, and winning approach to restoring the quality of patient lives through hormone care. Just talk to one of their patients. They will tell you TRT with Synergex and Low T Center have significantly changed your lives. So don't wait. Get into a center today, man. But here's the thing. It's not all just about the men. Women also experience some of the same issues that men do. But there's a benefit for you, right? And women can experience many of these same symptoms, man, from tiredness, energy, mood swings, low libido. So women, you can also get in and get tested as well. Treatment include testosterone injections or even hormone pellets for women too. At Synergex and Low T Center, they have a long history of helping women find hormonal balance and just bringing balance back to your life, man. This is just one of those things. We worry about the outside, the exterior a lot with everything that we do. But I'm here to tell you, you can restore your energy like a pro and get on with the rest of your life by booking an appointment right now at trtmvp.com. Yes, trtmvp.com. You'll be wishing you did it sooner. It's Ramon Foster for Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, man. Let me tell you about my good friends over there, man. They're family-owned in Middle Tennessee company that's been serving from Clarksville to Murfreesboro for over 25 years. I actually hit them up this weekend, man. I had a shingle fall off, and I hit up Robbie. I was like, Robbie, man, we got a shingle. Come over. He's like, I'll have somebody over soon as possible. And that's just the work that they do, man. They stand out by building relationships and earning their trust through referrals, never through high-pressure tactics, door knocking, or storm chasing at all. They're like one of those national companies that as soon as a big storm comes by, you see all their little signs in your neighborhood trying to get you to file insurance and claim to get on top of your roof and be quite honest with you, may end up telling you something you don't need. Here's the way they feel at Jewel Roofing, man. You'll either use them now if you actually do need it or 10 years from now. But they want to build that trust with you and be a roofer that you can count on and trust. To learn more about them or book with them, have them come walk on your roof to give you an honest opinion. You give them a call at 615-868-9999 or visit the website at jewelroofing.com. That's Jewel Roofing with 2 L's.com.
Wrapping up hour 3 this morning on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee, 615-737-1045. Shall we go back to the phones, Ramon?
We have to hear from the people, Will.
Well, the people are lined up and ready to speak. So Marcus in Nashville leads us off.
Marcus.
Hello.
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 Marcus. Good morning.
How y'all feeling today, man?
We're good. Good day to be live.
We're good.
All right, man. So I just want to say, man, the organization is in shambles, and it starts from the top. I know Amy wants to help and wants to win, but it's like she don't know the right people to put in position for it. Scouting, the free agency, is like everything they're doing is bad. And Cam, I don't want him to get broken and damaged before he got a chance to be special. Like, he could be good somewhere else, but right now in Tennessee, he's not good. And, man, I'm going to hang up and let y'all finish it off.
Thank you, Marcus.
Short and sweet right there. That's what I'm talking about, Marcus.
He went quickly from, how y'all doing? Hey, everything's in shambles. Real quick.
He ain't lying, man.
I don't blame you.
As a fan, it does have to suck to have this guy. You were wondering why Cam didn't get the fanfare that he needed nationally from the NFL or ESPN and everybody else. This doesn't help the case even. I mean, the biggest storyline going into next year, if it does happen, is the firing of the coach and the hope that what you saw from Cam, that it'll be better. But at this point, you don't know, because how much of these will be the same mistakes? Like, I will, and let me just bring it in just a little bit. I do think that was part of Levis's issues too, trying to put himself in position where you had to force something or flipping the ball. Because at this point, I feel like we've seen Cam flip the ball 2 times. And luckily, it's either gone on the screen yesterday to hit the ground and somebody was in the vicinity, or he had a wide receiver and Alec Ayumana ended up catching it.
Buck Rising tweeting out 11 minutes ago at Buck Rising. Titans head coach Brian Callahan is scheduled to speak for his usual Monday recap press conference at 1:30 p.m. today. Back to the phones. Cousin P is in Nashville. What's up, Cousin P?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning.
Morning.
So, Will, you hit the nail on the head, man, talking about, Cam Ward, when you were basically saying playing through this man's strengths, which is being out of the pocket, it seems. To me, I don't understand why it's taking coaching staff so long to figure that out. I mean, if the fans can see that, coaching staff should be, 2 miles ahead of what we can see with our own eyes, without knowing what's going on in the facilities, on the practice field, all these things. The biggest concern that I see with Cam Ward right now is that he does not trust his block protection and really doesn't trust his receiving corps. I think Alec Ayumana has proven himself to be somewhat reliable. Calvin Ridley, super glued this guy's hands, man. I don't know what else to do. His hands are just awful. They're stone. So you can't trust your supposed wide receiver one that you seemingly made chemistry with in the offseason. We all thought, man, this guy's going to have a 1,000-yard season, the way he's playing right now, right? We all thought that.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see more of Gunnar Helms. And I don't know if this is to be true, guys, but I heard a crazy stat that this guy only dropped 1 pass in college. Is that accurate? Am I hearing that right?
I had not seen that, Cousin P, but it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
So the guy legitimately is a 7-Eleven, right? I'm all open and I got everything that you need. Throw him the ball more, man. Let's see what this guy has to offer, man. I would love that.
But that's hard to do when he got to stay in and help protect the right side of the offensive line. I just want to throw that out too.
No, Ramon, you are right. That is an accurate statement, man. I mean, it's hard for that guy to even, like you said, to even have the chance of being in that situation. But those are my concerns, guys. I mean, other than just being a rookie quarterback that's going to make mistakes, I think Cam is our guy. I really do. So, hey, man. Oh, and one last thing, man. Paul needs his own segment. I do, man. Give him his own segment. Give him 20 minutes on the show every day, man. That guy's, man, I love his energy and I love his love for football, man. So,
no doubt.
Try to have a good one, guys.
You too, P.
Appreciate the call. Thank you, P. Appreciate it. Let's go back to the phones. Matthew is in Franklin next. Hey, Matthew.
Morning, Matthew.
Good morning, gentlemen. God bless you. Hope you're having a good one.
You as well, sir.
I have some very positive Titan news. After the game, my wife was working in the house, running the vacuum quit working. I grabbed the Titans logo, slapped it on that thing, and it worked like it was brand new.
Okay. Thank you, Matthew.
They just suck the life out of you, I guess.
Appreciate the call. I was waiting for more, but I guess that's all we got. That's fine. It's good for your vacuum, I guess.
I guess the analogy is that the Titans are a broken vacuum that'll, suck the life out of you or something.
Johnny is in Chattanooga next this morning. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, morning, fellas.
Morning.
Morning.
Hey, so I just wanted to get y'all's thoughts on the Aziz hit, and really not the hit itself. It was the fact that no one came over to help him. And Ramon, I want from an offensive lineman perspective, what does that say about them? The fact that not a single person came over there to confront Aziz over that. Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you, Johnny.
From an offensive lineman's perspective, it puts you in a situation where you'll see it on film and you're gonna feel embarrassed as heck. It puts you more on the idea that your quarterback can get bullied. Maybe some of them didn't see it. Is the first thing that I'll say. But if you don't get attitude this week from those guys on protecting him, then it's very problematic for you. The way Jeff was screaming for the flag right there, I think that's all you needed to know also. But again, you don't – it's hard to really break this one.
I think it's difficult because the whole messaging also of the offseason has been self-inflicted negatives. And don't do dumb crap to hurt the team, and don't get penalties after the final whistle. There's got to be a middle ground, right, of defending your player, but also, this team has preached over and over and over and over, don't get penalties, don't get penalties, don't get penalties.
If they'd have reacted, that'd have been more of a penalty on the team, too.
And Jeffrey Simmons, you can see on the video, I'm looking at it right now, is standing there, yelling at the ref, what are you doing?
Jeff's gotten called for less.
Right.
But to your point, it just compounds with more penalties and negativity is what I would tell you. They can't afford it.
It is a brutal miss by the officiating crew. Just a terrible, terrible, terrible miss. That is a 15-yard penalty, and Aziz Al-Shire will almost 100% get fined at least $40,000 for that hit on Cam Ward.
More people will probably call offensive line soft for not reacting to that one. That's just I get what you want to say. There could have been something.
615-737-1045 is our number. So over the weekend, Easton Freeze of A to Z Sports wrote about Brian Callahan's job security and is continuing to say a lot of the same things, according to people behind the scenes, that he was writing about before the season. We'll tell you what that is coming up next. So if you've been thinking about relocating in Nashville, you've quickly learned how crazy this market is. And if you're going with that big national agent, you probably also learned that you're not getting a lot of results. What's up? It's Will Bowling. I want to tell you about my friend Bernie Gallerani, who guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it. Yeah, there's no risk to you. Bernie will let you out of the contract at any time because he is the real estate agent with the 30-day guarantee. So if you're ready to sell, start by knowing your home's true value. Bernie Gallerani's new home value estimator is fast, free, and easy. Just go to BernieGallerani.com. Right at the top of the homepage, click on how much is your home really worth. You can enter your address and have that answer in 30 seconds. You might be sitting on a gold mine and you just have no idea. And Bernie is the guy who knows this market better than anybody. So don't waste your time with competitors who aren't even from here. Get Bernie Gallerani. He's number one, according to the Nashville MLS, for a reason, and he's got a 615 area code that you can call. 615-428-2644. That is his personal cell phone. That's how confident he is in his ability to help you. That's Bernie Gallerani. Call him at 615-428-2644 or check him out online at BernieGallerani.com.
It is 8:01. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans fall to 0-4 on the season after a 26-0 shutout loss to the Houston Texans on Sunday. This is the first time the Titans have started a season 0-4 since back in the 2009 season. The first time they were shut out in a game since Week 6 against the Denver Broncos in 2019. Head coach Brian Callahan is scheduled for his usual Monday recap press conference at 1:30 this afternoon, and you can hear that right here on The Zone. In college, the Tennessee Vols survive against Mississippi State Saturday, 41-34 in overtime, and improved to 4-1 on the year. Joey Aguilar with his second 300-plus yard passing game of the year, and the Vols defense had 2 touchdowns, a Colton Hood pick 6 and a Joshua Joseph's fumble recovery, taking 41 yards to the house. And the Arkansas Razorbacks have fired head coach Sam Pittman yesterday after 6 seasons and named Bobby Petrino the interim head coach. Arkansas lost 56-13 at home on Saturday to Notre Dame. And this morning, Petrino is already making moves as the team is parting ways with defensive coordinator Travis Williams, per Pete Nakos of On3 Sports. And tonight, a Monday Night Football doubleheader, an AFC East battle in Miami as the 0-3 Dolphins host the 0-3 New York Jets, where the Jets are getting back quarterback Justin Fields, returning from a concussion. Kickoff is at 6:15 on ESPN, and then at 7:15 at Mile High Stadium, it's the 1-2 Denver Broncos hosting the 2-1 Cincinnati Bengals on ABC. You can also hear the Broncos and Bengals right here on The Zone, courtesy of Westwood One, with coverage starting at 7. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show, hour number 3 this morning on Ramon and Will. We're fueled by Scooter's Coffee. We are happy to be here. We are thankful to be waking up talking sports with you, Ramon. We get a lot of comments on days like this that are like, man, I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all come in every day. Look, guys, we're not digging ditches.
No.
We're not outside in the elements. Y'all got the hard jobs. We're just here talking about sports. We are grateful. We are blessed. And we're just going to have fun on this show regardless of how much fun the games are themselves.
No doubt.
So we hope you do as well, hanging out with us. We stream it live for you on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Got to be able to detach the results from how you feel as humans and how you wake up and come to work on Monday mornings. And Ramon, I feel like we do a good job of that.
We try. But the more we go to the phone lines, the more they just continue to pull us back into it.
All right, well, I guess I'll speak for myself then.
Yeah, man. No, there's a separation of it, though, too. But I was telling you on the break, man, I kind of want to just come in one day and do this job and speak about the scheme and how you broke those guys down and who's having growth and who's looking forward to being, the guys of the future. And right now, Alec Ayumaner, he's a guy I think you can say, yeah, that could be a good product. And I just want to go ahead and just put a stamp on it right now. He's wide receiver 1.
I mean, you're not going to hear an argument from me.
Yeah, I just want to go ahead and put a stamp on it.
Mm-hmm.
He's earning that right now on this team of a lot of bat.
26-0, the Titans fall to the Houston Texans yesterday. We will talk college football in 15 minutes because the results of the weekend deserve a little bit of time on that this morning. Easton Freeze of A to Z Sports wrote before the season that continuity was going to be important, saying they decided if they had any significant doubt about Brian Callahan's ability to figure this thing out, they should have sent him packing in January. They decided they didn't, and now they're going to try to be patient enough to not consider that again until Cam Ward can at least get a year or 2 under his belt. Now you just have to keep everybody in line through the ups and downs of a rocky season, sticking to the plan. That can be easier said than done in the NFL, but this leadership group seems awfully confident they can pull it off. The reporting from Easton Freeze, Ramon, and from Teron Davenport and Jeremy Fowler was consistent. The Titans really wanted to break the cycle of lack of continuity and not fire anyone this year. Keep everyone in place, try to grit your teeth and stomach whatever happened this year. Well, then Easton Freeze wrote again on Saturday following up on a lot of those comments, because to the point that he made in this column at A2Csports.com, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Easton writes on Saturday, A2Csports.com. Believe it or not, the mindset of ownership in this executive leadership group remains largely the same as it was before the games began. Continuity is king. They still really do not want to fire Brian Callahan. And they really, really do not want to fire him now in season. They'll do it if they feel they have no choice. And that's where coaching management this weekend, meaning yesterday in Houston, is critical. If Brian Callahan becomes the story in 3 of the Titans' first 4 games, that anything is on the table come Monday morning. Well, now it is Monday morning. Is Brian Callahan the story of yesterday's game, Ramon?
Yes, he is. Because here's the thing about when they wrote this article, Fowler and everybody else, Teron Davenport, shout out to all those people, is you got to have some good. Like, one thing I would say about Houston was they competitively lost, if that's a thing. I know some people hate that in general. But they competitively lost, and of the bad teams, you beat a worse team than you. There's got to be some good that comes out of keeping continuity. The moment that it's bad, and it's not good, you start to argue, start to fracture the base that you were saying that you were going to live at. And that base was, hey, we're going to not be quick to react, and we're going to build continuity, and we're going to be very good in noticing or realizing that there's a longer plan. Well, we're at week 4, and that plan is probably one of the worst scoring offenses in the NFL. The defense has continually to erode away, and everything that was good about the special teams has slowly deteriorated too. As you missed 2 field goals, it could have kept the game competitive somewhat. The side of the ball that you're asked to man and to pull forward, because, again, you want to get away from 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Well, you went to a guy that's supposed to do that, and against one of your biggest rivals, you put up 0 points. There's been no progress. That's the issue that you have on trying to keep continuity. I'm with you. Like I said, I was of the mindset I don't want this ownership to be quick to react. That changes now.
Does this game specifically change your mind on keeping Brian Callahan around?
It did, yeah. I don't even have to quickly think about it. It did. Because, like I said, as a player, I need to be able to believe in the bull crap that you're selling. Man, I think most coaches are selling you bull crap no matter what you are. Man, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid every single time. But if this eventually gets more and more tart with every drink that I sip, then that makes me as a player sour. I'm all for the idea of believing in the plan. This almost feels like the Philadelphia 76ers when they're saying trust the process. What process? It's not what process?
Bill is in the borough. Up next. What's up, Bill?
Hey, yes, sir. I'm going to warn you, this is going to be kind of harsh, but sometimes you got to be harsh. I served in the United States Marine Corps, and I've seen in men's eyes when they're scared. Brian Callahan is scared for whatever reason, making the wrong call, losing his job. I don't know what it is, but you can't coach like that. And I'll go one step forward. If we were on the battlefield together, I'd wound him just to get him sent to the back where he didn't get anybody hurt or killed. He's got to go.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate
you, Bill,
the call.
And we'll most definitely appreciate you for your service.
Thank you for your service, Bill. Appreciate the call.
He said he'd wound him, man.
Sydney is in Nashville next. Hey, Sydney.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
Bro, so I had a question for y'all. So a lot of the things that I've been hearing is that if the Titans fire Brian Callahan, it's going to hurt Cam Ward's development. But I'd like to make the argument that over the course of these 4 games that we have lost, Cam Ward has looked increasingly worse every single game. How much is it going to hurt his development if he's already this bad and getting worse with Brian Callahan? How bad is it going to hurt to just bring in a new guy? I mean, like how much could that really hurt his development? It's his first year, so it's like you don't want to be changing the offense, but it's just like he's not getting that much better with Brian Callahan. I'll hang up and listen. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Sydney.
That's fair.
What do you think?
I think he's 100% correct. It has slowly gone down. Him with how he's played football and previous destinations he's been at, I'm with him. Sydney, he's increasingly gotten worse.
I don't think every game has been worse, but I do think this was the worst we've seen from Cam Ward so far on Sunday. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Chris is in California next. What's up, Chris?
Gentlemen, good morning. How are you?
Great.
Good morning,
How are you?
Chris.
Trying to stay up after the weekend. Luckily, the Vols won. That'll keep you floating.
That's right.
Gents, I'm a baseball coach. I'm not a football coach, so I try not to speak on the X's and O's, but I do know how to develop talent, and this is just a really good example. Now, I'm not a big fan of, was it Nagy up in New York? I don't know a ton about the guy, but they're in kind of a similar situation. I mean, they're sitting 0-3 going into this weekend against the Chargers, who were 3-0. If you look what they did at the beginning of the year, we're talking about the plan, and I got to trust the plan, and we want to be able to believe in that. Well, listen to this. Like, they picked up their veteran, let him roll out the first 3 games to see if their talent was going to be able to hold up and be competitive. It wasn't. They rolled out Jackson Dart in week 4, and now they're sitting with the attitude of 1-3 that they've actually got a shot to develop and see some hope. And then you look at the Titans. 0-3 going against an 0-3 division rival, and we're just rolling the balls out and hoping for the best. And that's NFL planning. That's NFL development. And for anything else, that's why I don't think he's the guy. Because if you're going to be the CEO game manager, now granted he just let go of play calling, you have got to be able to champion those things. I want a coach that knows how to manipulate the rules like Vrabel used to, not a coach that, as our former Marine there just said, looks scared, and he does. He looks scared. He looks like a man scared for his job. But, gentlemen, love the show. Think you guys do great work. I'll hang up and listen. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Chris. Thoughts?
I will say this. I try not to correlate Vrabel in this staff at all. I do think that is a point of it, too, being sure of your work. I do believe in our Marine, never former, our Marine that called in, too, and just said the ability to walk straight into the fire and not blink. To have the confidence of your teammate. I don't know who brought up that, what's the word I'm looking for, that hot word last week, the desperate. Shouldn't have been using that one the way I feel last week. I can understand the urgency to win, but desperation to go get a win is like there's no end to it when you use those types of words.
Sure.
It just feels like at that point all is lost. So what happens now if your desperation fails?
There's a piece at SI.com this morning by Connor Orr that we're going to read at 9:20, and we will talk more about this at hour 4. We'll obviously talk more about it throughout the week, about how the Titans can be the right kind of desperate. To me, it feels like right now they are trying to stick to their plan to see if it finally clicks, and there is a level of desperation in just letting Cam cook, for lack of a better term, that might be the best thing for this offense. It feels like they're not giving him the free rein to just play outside of the system because they're hoping that as guys get healthier and as Cam gets more comfortable in the system, that the system works. So at what point do you throw the system out and try a new system, or do you hope that your young players who haven't played together finally get it and there's an aha moment? The system is running out of time to work.
It is.
That's the reality of the situation. And we're going to talk in the fourth hour about some major changes you can make to it, including the major change of who is the head coach of the system. 615-737-1045 is our number. If you want to talk Titans, please hang on with us. We will get to your phone calls if you are on the phone with us. All of you will get to talk, but you're going to have to be a little bit patient because coming up next, Ramon, we promised the people college football discussion. We will supply it. Coming up, Tennessee survives in Starkville. Ramon was there and gives his thoughts next.
It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls. That is a website you need. I'm sure a lot of y'all need a jolt of energy right now, and they can also help you with the IV therapy to get that jolt going for you, man. But the website is medicalhousecalls.com. It's 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. through 8 p.m. You have same-day appointments available, also next day guaranteed. You You can also just call or text them at this number, 615-838-2375. But they can be your primary care, health care, urgent care, IV therapy, and also medical weight loss. Listen to me. The weekends and just a week of life can take a toll on you. If you are trying to get a little bit of a bounce back where you're feeling fatigue or you've been so busy that you've got this illness going on or difficulty focusing and being productive, there's IV therapy for you, and medical house calls can do that for you. If you're a workout warrior, guess what? They can also help you get those vitamins and minerals and nutrients back into your bloodstream with the IV therapy that they do. But not just that. They will come to your house, knock on your door, ask to come in after you allow them to, and they can do at-home urgent care where their medical experts are waiting for you. Everything from sicknesses, infections, injuries, in-home labs, testing, and more. For a flat fee, you can get an evaluation, full exam, treatment plan, and prescriptions if you need it. This isn't a fly-by-night process. Absolutely not. These are health care providers, man, that'll help you get back to what you need and at the convenience of your time if you can't get off work. So if you're busy and need somebody to your house and simply don't want to go to the urgent care or ER room, guess what? Go to medicalhousecalls.com or call or text them at 615-838-2375. Let's talk about your hair. If you're losing it and desire to have it back, then Advanced Hair Restoration has the easiest guaranteed solution. They're simple. One-day treatment offers life-changing results. I've seen it with my own eyes. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it the most, and bam, it grows. It's actually science. Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated doctors, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day. Advanced Hair even guarantees it grows for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 629-348-HAIR. If you qualify, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and they are the team I personally recommend. So don't wait. Check out the befores and afters online for yourself if you don't believe me. 629-348-HAIR. Visit their website at advancedhair.com.
Reaction Monday on Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee. Every show we bring to you is fueled by our friends at Scooters. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet, where you can scoot on down and get you a pick-me-up to start your Monday. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. More of your phone calls and more of our thoughts on the Tennessee Titans coming up. 615-737-1045. We'll get back to that in just a few minutes at 8:45. So stick around. But Ramon Foster, the Tennessee Football Volunteers, had a program win on Saturday afternoon in Starkville. Sometimes there are team wins. Sometimes there are team losses. Sometimes there are something in the middle. This was a program win and a step forward for a team that Ramon has made a habit of losing this exact game. You were in the building.
Yeah.
What was your big takeaway from Tennessee's win over Mississippi State?
Josh Heupel's got a team that knows how to play to the end. Georgia, it is what it is. I think Georgia's talent in that moment was just outplaying what the Vols had. But to not let that linger, not let that be another blip on his storyline as far as his coaching credibility goes, as far as his team's ability to finish, as far as, and hear me out, y'all, it ain't just us, it's others that suffer from this too. Whatever battered blank syndrome you have, it could be battered Bama syndrome. It can be battered, whoever you are.
Battered Aggie syndrome was flaring up big time this weekend, but they got it done too.
Battered Clemson syndrome. All that. Tiger syndrome. I mean, LSU's going through it. What it did was get you over the hump to believe, like, no matter what, he's got the guys and are coaching them to finish. The game plan that you had that, to be quite honest with you, wasn't working the run game. You didn't go away from it because to win those types of games, you have to be able to pound the line of scrimmage. And that play paid dividends for them. And I'll say this too, understanding what's not going to work. I love what Peyton Lewis is as a prospect. Can't put him in and got to have it moments when it comes down to protection.
Miss pass protection, you can't be on the field consistently when you can't do your job protecting the passer at running back.
And being okay with yanking them.
Totally agree.
Being okay with yanking them. I thought you saw grit from guys that had got injured. Mississippi State popped some Vols. They absolutely got after them.
It's a good football team.
It was a good football team. Just to watch the finish. My main thing after the game was it's finally good being on the better side of a classic. Georgia, this year, you're on the worst side of that one. Was it Arkansas last year? You're on the bad side of that one. South Carolina, 2022, you're on the bad side of that one. Ole Miss and Knoxville, you're on the bad side of that one. It's good finally being on the good side of a classic to where when the SEC network plays that thing on Tuesday or Wednesday, you can sit back and relive the good moments that happen, man. I got to continue to say, too, it starts with the head coach and his poise, although time management, we don't have to talk about that.
Not good.
Not great, Bob.
Not good at all.
Not great. Don't have to waiting in your holster, okay, when you got an opportunity to close it out in regulation, but it is what it is, made for a better ending.
Right.
But Joey Aguilar also having the poise to continue to go back to his guys when they failed him at moments. I'm talking about Braylon Staley on the sideline, getting that first down going into before the student body right. I'm talking about Stark Thomas, who had a drop that could have been a bigger play early in the game. The confidence to go back to your people when your people have failed you, and also the game planning, setting that type of stuff up too, is awesome. Mike Matthews had his issues throughout the duration of the game. Defensively, couldn't get a stop. And I will say this, the adjustment that they had of when gotta have it moments, stopping the run and making Blake Shapen win the football game. That was, I think, crucial, and the physicality of it. The defense, run defense.
I think it is a big deal that Tennessee made the amount of mistakes it did on the road against a good team and found a way to win.
Yeah.
That is significant. Tennessee opened the game forcing a 3-and-out, then gave Mississippi State immediate 7 with Braylon Staley's muffed punt.
Bro.
Star Thomas dropped the ball on a 3rd and 2 on the next possession. Mike Matthews dropped an easy touchdown wide open over the top of the defense. Peyton Lewis had a bad miss in pass protection that hurt you. The refs stole a touchdown from Chris Brazel on a play where the Mississippi State defensive back just fell over. Miles Kitselman had a ball go off of his fingertips that was intercepted that led to Mississippi State points. There was another drop in this game that kept Tennessee from being able to move the football, and they still found a way to win. On a fourth down, Joey Aguilar, with a guy draped all over him, finds Chris Brazzell over the middle of the field for a conversion. With another guy draped all over him on what I believe was the next play, it's Mike Matthews wide open. Joey Aguilar's maturity and slow heart rate was the difference in this football game. Mm-hmm. And in a game where a lot of other things broke down, Joey Aguilar proved that he is enough of a gamer to take an offense that isn't clicking and find a way when it matters. That's a really big deal for Tennessee football, Ramon. This is a game that not only under Josh Heupel, but under previous head coaches, Tennessee loses over and over and over again. Tennessee played C-plus football and won on the road against a team that hadn't lost this year.
Oh.
That matters. That is a step forward for the program. It is a step forward for Josh Heupel. It is a step forward for Joey Aguilar as QB1 of the Tennessee Vols, who passed another major test. And all your goals are still in front of you if you're Tennessee at this point.
Man, listen to me. The Vols, absolutely. I thought both sides were very physical. Sam Pendleton also
It was a dogfight, man.
He had a rolled ankle bad. Brent Hubbs told us after the game, if the Vols had to go back out there, he wouldn't have been available. Like, you would have had William Satterwhite. He went into the tent.
You could see Joey taking snaps from him on the sideline, yeah.
And because what I'm bringing up is this, and Jesse Perry, when you have guys that are on the same wavelength and pushing towards the same goals, they want to be back out there. David Sanders Jr. Got his opportunity to go out there and play this past weekend too, and you saw the rookie in him also with the false start and noise.
Right.
But the composure that you had to finish that thing out and not relive heartbreak the way you did in Georgia. And I'll say this too, the way Alabama did Georgia this past weekend. The Vols were the better team. The record doesn't say that right now. The Vols were the better team 2 weeks ago, and you couldn't close it out because Bama showed us that against them at their home place too. Now, whether we're outmatched, outmanned, too many mistakes that have happened from time to time again, but the ability to go toe-to-toe with some of the best in the league. I did a podcast yesterday with Chris Lowe, and he asked me, how do you feel about this team going down the stretch? I said, I think there's probably going to be another loss somewhere. Who knows? But I do think across the SEC and just college football in general, there are going to be some teams that the committee is going to have a hard time keeping a 3-loss team out. I'm not sure if that's the Vol. I'm not sure if it's Georgia. I'm not sure if it's, Clemson, if they win the ACC or whoever it is. But the parity now that you have in a competitive level for the teams that got something special or nice about it has changed. I think NIL and the transfer portal has been the best thing to ever happen to the competition of what college football is if you have a coach and the right athletes to do it. And I think Tennessee has those, even while Jamar McCoy has yet to play. Ricky Gibson may not be back for the year at this point, but you found stud players and a true freshman and Ty Redmond playing corner. And at this rate, Colton Hood, who's been projected as a first-round corner.
Colton Hood is the MVP of the defense.
Boy.
No doubt about it. He's been fantastic. 2 defensive touchdowns now for Colton Hood. I loved his quote yesterday, too, when Tyree West had his strip sack that Josh Josephs returned for a touchdown. Colton Hood told the media Saturday night, he was like, man, I just heard the crowd go silent. I didn't know what happened. So I just looked over and just started talking trash and running to the end zone. I love that. I love that.
It was awesome, man.
Tennessee has 20 sacks. 15 of them have come from 10 different defensive linemen. Tip of the cap to Brent Hubbs, who wrote that at VolQuest yesterday. Tyree West, Josh Josephs, and Caleb Herring are tied for the team lead with 3 each. For now, until they get a little bit healthier, this is a big play defense, meaning big plays for you and against you. They are feast or famine. They'll create some explosives for you in terms of, they have 3 defensive touchdowns this season. I don't know how sustainable that is, but they've done it through the first month of the season at this point. The concern is in the ground game. Tennessee, I think, had a bigger advantage on paper than what was really played out on grass.
Yeah, man.
Tennessee ran for 131 yards, and 25 of it came on the last snap to win the game. It's not good enough in the run game. Tennessee did not run the ball well enough in this game. That is a concern for me. Their run defense has not been good enough. Georgia rushed for 198 on 55 carries. State had 198 on 57 carries. They corrected a lot of that late. I'll give Roddy Garner credit. Whatever he told his defensive line.
Coach William Inge.
Coach Inge as well.
Yep.
Because they're not setting the edge. Arion Carter and Jeremiah Thielander are doing fine up the middle. It's the runs to the outside from you, Ramon, that are not being consistently stopped. And this team's bad in zone coverage. Bad
the
in zone
communication.
coverage.
You know what I'm seeing happen?
A lot of breaks, a lot of busts.
Almost every offense they've had have elected to spread them out.
Right.
And soften them up.
They're bad in zone.
And that miscommunication when Fluff Bothwell went outside and there was miscommunication, he ended up scoring on that particular play. They got to be a whole lot better communicating throughout the course of the week and not allowing that to be the situation because teams are going to revisit. Georgia, well, I don't think that's even a part of their offense. They did that to the Vols defense and put them in bad positions offensively and zone coverage too. But you're right. If they're not winning, to your point, at the line of scrimmage and pushing guys back, they're going to continue to see teams run, and then set them up for some bozo type of play to get downfield.
Georgia's 33-game winning streak at Sanford Stadium ended on Saturday. The Bulldogs had not lost a home game at night, Ramon, since 2009. Your rookie year in the NFL. The last time Georgia lost a home night game, and that is exactly what happened on Saturday. Kalen DeBoer is 7-1 against top 10 opponents in his career. Says, I think there is a toughness that's being built. When he spoke to the media post-game, Ty Simpson, when he is given time, is a really good quarterback. Ramon, how surprised were you what Alabama did to Georgia on Saturday night?
Very, because I think they controlled it from the beginning. If the 18-year-old Ron Williams don't have a game against anybody, he has one against Georgia. Do you hear me? And
that was despite the drop on the first drive of the game. That was a walk-in touchdown.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
bounced back and still had a good one.
Georgia's ability to rise up against guys who have offensive game plans that they can deliver on, and watching Ty Simpson, who's a quarterback's, who's a head coach's kid, play the position with poise, is problematic for Georgia. Again, on top of having Jam Miller back.
Jam Miller was back, yeah.
Run game with a competent quarterback beats Georgia in those moments. It seems like 8 out of 10 times. They can't allow that to happen, especially with their ability to just run down the field. Kirby Smart, for the first time in watching that game, I felt like got out-coached defensively by a coach for probably one of the few times ever. When you got Alabama putting up Caden Proctor to catch a pass.
That's crazy.
That's when it's comical.
Crazy.
That's when you've lost all control at that point if you Kirby Smart, in my personal opinion. Not to say that the team ain't good. It's one loss. Kirby making excuses after it, too. What's the record? That's the only thing I ain't like about Kirby this past weekend in his press conference. What's their record against everybody else? No, Kirby, you don't get to do that. You don't get to make excuses for just losing because the team's got your number.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to do that. I'm sorry, Kirby, but you don't get to do that one because he got out coached, Will, I felt like, defensively, for a team that's not lacking at prospects.
Alabama proved that it could solve a lot of the toughness issues in real time. That's hard to do. That's really hard to do. Some of the issues that they have corrected are often seen, Ramon, as unfixable in terms of competitive toughness, in terms of just a team that can be more physical, that can impose its will. They did it. And I thought Georgia did not manage this game well late in the fourth quarter. Kirby has to understand that in a 24-21 game, going no huddle to run on 4th and 1 when you've got a chip shot field goal and your defense is playing well at that point of the game and you are leaning on that defense, not kicking the field goal there to tie the game was malpractice. It was. It absolutely was. There's just no way around it.
Yeah.
Kirby and Mike Bobo fumbled with that decision because look at what was working for your offense.
Yeah.
And Kirk Herbstreit was talking about it on the broadcast. He was like, Mike Bobo told us, I've got to be okay kicking and not being overly aggressive and understand that we're going to throw a lot of body blows. We're going to throw a lot of jabs. That way, late in the game, we can lean on them in the run game and knock them over and knock them out. And they did everything but throw the final punch.
Yep.
Because when you then set up yourself to still need those points late in a 2-minute drive, when you have to throw the football, you don't get the benefit of being able to lean on Alabama defensively and just run all over them. You set it up perfectly, other than the way your defense played in the first half. You set it up well enough to still win. You took the game out of Gunnar Stockton's hands. You were running the football. Bowens carries 12 times for 119 yards in this game. The running backs go 33 for 227, 6.9 yards per carry, but you take the ball out of their hands when you don't kick the field goal to tie the game and you force it to go back in Gunnar Stockton's. That was the issue. Georgia made a big coaching mistake and did something they don't often do. They beat themselves, Ramon.
Yeah, they did.
They made it harder for their team to win that football game, in my opinion, by going no huddle and trying to get 4th and 1. And they also ran to the right side of the line. You have two true freshmen playing on the right side of the line. Back in 2022, when you have redshirt sophomores minimum that are starting, who have marinated in the program and been coached by a better line coach, mind you, in either Sam Pittman or Matt Luke, you can maybe afford to do that. Hey, impose our will. Go. Be aggressive. Now, those two guys aren't what you used to have in terms of your depth.
And he told us that in recruiting.
Because nobody has depth to just put 2 true freshmen on the right side of the line and roll over Alabama. I thought it was a major mistake by Kirby Smart and Mike Bobo. I think it may have cost him the game.
Yeah.
I really do. Those are 2 really good football teams. All that being said, the way the playoff is set up now, Georgia will probably get another crack at Alabama. It might be in the SEC championship game. The question for Alabama then, Ramon, becomes, can you keep this level of play consistent against a team like Vanderbilt? Because College game day is coming to town. That is not your grandfather's Vandy. It's not your father's Vandy. It might not even be your older brother's Vandy. This is a brand new Vandy who is absolutely capable of winning in Tuscaloosa. Can Alabama bring the kind of attention to detail and toughness that they bring for top 10 opponents for not top 10 opponents?
No doubt about it.
We're going to start to find out.
And with the offense that can actually score. I don't know. I don't want to say it's by will. I don't want to say through grind and grit, through Diego Pavia's legs and toughness, but they can score, and they've proven they can score too. Can Bama do the exact same thing with a disciplined defensive squad with what Vanderbilt has shown us this year?
We will talk a little bit of Vanderbilt. They were at action over the weekend as well. They lit up the scoreboard again. That's just becoming a foregone conclusion every single week. Plus, we'll get to more of your phone calls, 615-737-1045 as we wrap up Hour 3 next.
Is your concrete in need of repair? Maybe your sidewalk is shifting, your driveway is cracked and sinking, or maybe your porch steps have moved on you. Shifting concrete can create a dangerous situation, just trip hazard around your home. It's also just a big eyesore. Ramon Falston, whatever is going on with your concrete, call United Structural Systems. Ask them about their polyurethane foam injections. You've heard about USS for a long time. It's the same company that's provided superior foundation repair and waterproofing to Middle Tennessee since 1994. Well, they can fix your sunken or settling concrete. USS uses polyurethane foam injection to lift and repair your sinking concrete in a matter of minutes. Lifted concrete can be walked on immediately or even driven on after about 30 minutes. So don't go through the long, expensive process of ripping out and replacing your concrete. Reach out to the people that I trust, man. You can go to USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com, or call them 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Ramon Foster, Will Bowling, Scooters Coffee in Middle Tennessee, locally owned. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Vanderbilt will play at Alabama this upcoming weekend. College game day will be there. Vandy is 5-0 for the first time since 2008. They have outscored their last 4 opponents 103-26 in the second half. Diego Pavia in the 55-35 win over Utah State goes 26-34 for 321, 5 touchdowns, 79 rushing yards, and a pick that came when the game was already over. Junior Sherrill goes for 3 touchdowns, 91 receiving yards, and pretty much got to take the second half off, Ramon. How good of a chance does Vanderbilt have to do the unthinkable and go back-to-back against Alabama? How legit is this Vanderbilt team to you?
They got a fighting chance, a strong fighting chance. How legit are they? Offensively, they look like there's not many chinks in our armor. Defensively, they're sound, they're tough, they're physical. And when you usually have a sound, tough, physical defense, your special teams are usually pretty solid too. Alabama having to host Vanderbilt this weekend, I look at this situation like, is it the psychological block they're going to have? How much poise does Callahan DeBoer, as Bert calls him, on this SEC breakdown or whatever, how much poise does he have to coach against Clark Lee? This is a matchup between an offensive head coach and a very defensive head coach. One with not a smile on his face at all, and the other one that's kind of light and go about his business. And also this part, too. Vanderbilt's leading up to this game. Right? Vanderbilt's leading up to this game. They've set their schedule up to where it ascends up to matching where Alabama is at right now. Can or will Alabama descend down from the excitement of what Georgia was? I look at this one more, Will, than more than just a scheme this week, because both of them have shown to be solid. Mm-hmm. I look at this situation more as how emotional will one or the other be. And I think there's more pressure, honestly, on Bama than it is on than Vanderbilt going into this one. They got a fighting chance. I'm not even sure what the line is this week on this one.
Well, I was just about to play this game. What do you think the line is? What would you set it at?
3.
3? No, I can tell you it's going to be higher than that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Justin, what do you think?
I was going to go 10.5.
I would say 12.5 to Bama, if I had to guess. What do you think? You sticking with 3?
I'll go 7.5.
7.5. Let's see here.
I'll 7.5. You know I'm bad with this betting stuff.
Where is the spread? I cannot find it. Really thought I'd be able to find it by the end of this. Yes. Here we go.
Yes.
DraftKings Sportsbook has Alabama -10.
That's a get-back game.
I think it opened up on Saturday. On 3 put it out that it was 12.5, so you would have been right. But
it's probably moved a little bit. I know Todd Furman last week on 3HL, I think, still had it at 2 touchdowns.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. We'll see. I mean, it is a big chance for Vandy to arrive. And they've already arrived as a good team in the SEC. You could arrive as a great team in the SEC in this game. Fascinating matchup. Vandy's got a shot. I mean, anytime Diego Pavia puts his helmet on, they got a shot.
Kickoff is late window?
2:30.
Oh, okay.
Middle window.
Okay. Yeah, that makes...
It's going to be interesting. Vandy has got to clean up the penalties. Roughed a punter to extend a Utah State drive. False start on 3rd down in its first offensive possession. Roughing the passer to extend Utah State's first drive. Cost itself a safety with a defensive holding penalty on a punt. 91 yards on 8 penalties for Vandy. And again, I'm not going to be overly critical in a game against Utah State. Simply making the point that those mistakes aren't going to win you a game in Tuscaloosa.
No, sir.
That's the issue for Vandy going into Saturday. The other issue is it's got to start a little bit faster on defense. Again, I'm nitpicking. Vandy has had nearly a flawless start to the season, but on script, teams are having success against them, which Alabama showed again on Saturday against Georgia. Bama has success on script. Bama has been excellent to open up quarters, including against Florida State when they looked like world beaters on the first drive of the game. They looked like world beaters in the first couple drives of the game in Athens over the weekend. Vandy has allowed opponents to score within their first 2 drives in 4 out of the 5 games so far. you can't get behind the 8-ball in Tuscaloosa because if you let that crowd get on you a little bit and you let Alabama get off to a fast start, you're putting yourself behind the 8-ball. You're making things very, very difficult. Really interesting matchup. I'm going to stop just doubting Vanderbilt because they've already proven me wrong with how good they are this year. I thought they would get to 6 wins over the whole season. I think they're probably an 8-win team as things currently sit. But all their goals are in front of them, and they only have SEC games left. We're going to find out who Vanderbilt is really, really quickly on Saturday afternoon in Tuscaloosa.
A highly questionable thing that Vanderbilt has for itself is who they've played. South Carolina's only beat teams they were supposed to. Virginia Tech,
and that was without Lenore Sellers for a half.
Exactly.
Virginia Tech is terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
And they beat NC State over the weekend. So how about that, Dave Doran?
ACC, go take a nap. And Kentucky, yeah, also. So their opponents that they face real quick: Charleston Southern, Virginia Tech, South Carolina, who's bad, Georgia State, and Utah State. This was set up for momentum, for belief.
And they've got it.
They do.
So what are you going to do with it?
It's the only question you have.
Yep.
Well, I have. I ain't going to put you in the boat with me on this one.
615-737-1045. I think the overall takeaway from the weekend of the SEC is that no one is elite and everyone's good except Arkansas and Kentucky.
Kentucky. Sorry, Sean. Y'all can suck.
There are 2 really bad teams. Oh. There are 14 good ones. I don't know how many great ones there are. Ole Miss is the top-ranked team in the conference now. Undefeated. Went over LSU. Proved me wrong on that one, too.
Yeah. Oh.
It is a really, really fun year to watch the Southeastern Conference.
Hey.
Really fun year.
All you older folks, it was like, they're ruining my game.
Well,
we were locked in on Saturday, baby.
Both things can be true.
From Friday night.
A lot of the game has been ruined, but it's also really fun as a television viewer right now.
Yes, it is. They get their money's worth.
Back to Titans discussion when we come back. We spent the first 2.5 hours on it. We pivoted for a few to talk some college football because the weekend deserved it. And now we get back to the Tennessee Titans. There's people calling for coaching changes to be made, including Ramon, who has said that over the weekend, or over the first couple of hours. Cam Ward gave a very blunt assessment of where the Titans are at this point of the season. You'll hear it coming up next.
Go the pros, go Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply to take care of your lawn. Like the pros, as fall begins in Middle Tennessee, Will Bowling with my guy Trey Hartsook. And Trey, those weeds that might be out of control around the house, around the front lawn, what do you guys do to make sure those pesky weeds are under control?
Well, I'll tell you, man, this year has been tough. With all the rain that we've gotten, seems like all the grassy weeds have really taken it to the next level. Don't let those grassy weeds take over your lawn. At Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, all you got to do, take a picture. Obviously, they don't look like grass. They're ugly. We don't want them. Bring in a picture of them to Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. We can say, oh, yeah, that's crab or that's goose or whatever. And then we can give you a herbicide that you can go apply on your lawn to get rid of that. Stop in and see us. We'd love to talk to you about it. We're conveniently located all over Middle Tennessee. Got locations in Nashville, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Bellevue, Brentwood, Lamar, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. Opening up at 7 a.m., closing at 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 to 12 on Saturdays. If you can't get a hold of us, check us out online, DickensSupply.com.
8:59. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans fall to 0-4 on the season after a 26-0 shutout loss to the Houston Texans on Sunday. Today, this afternoon, head coach Brian Callahan is scheduled to meet with the media for his usual Monday recap press conference. It's being held at 1:30 this afternoon, and you can, of course, hear that right here on 104.5 The Zone. In college, the Tennessee Vols survive against Mississippi State 41-34 Saturday in overtime, improved to 4-1 on the year. Joey Aguilar with his second 300-plus yard passing game of the year, and the Vols defense had 2 touchdowns on the day. A Colton Hood pick six and a Joshua Joseph fumble recovery taking 41 yards to the house. And Arkansas Razorbacks announced the firing of head coach Sam Pittman on Sunday after 6 seasons and named Bobby Petrino the interim coach. Petrino's already making moves, firing defensive coordinator, defensive line coach, and the co-defensive coordinator. And tonight, a Monday Night Football doubleheader. The 0-3 Miami Dolphins host the 0-3 New York Jets. Quarterback Justin Fields makes his return from a concussion for the Jets. Kickoff for that one is at 6:15 on ESPN. And then at 7:15, the 1-2 Denver Broncos host the 2-1 Cincinnati Bengals on ABC. You can also hear the Broncos and Bengals right here on The Zone, courtesy of Westwood One, with coverage starting at 7 o'clock. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into the fourth and final hour, kicking off your week and your Monday morning. Ramona Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Your Titans thoughts at 615-737-1045. 2 columns that are asking the Titans to make a change. One of them from our teammate Buck Rising. The other from Connor Orr of SI.com that we will lend our thoughts to coming up here in 20 minutes. Ramon Foster, after a 26-0 defeat to the Houston Texans yesterday, the Titans are 0-4 and in need of answers. In need of something. What is the biggest disappointment out of the way this game went yesterday for you?
The lack of scoring. You told us in your interviews that you had an amazing practice on Thursday, and again, it's a very offensive league that the NFL is right now, and for you to net 0 points is more than disappointing. Even if the points came from special teams, it's still disappointing because you got a quarterback that this team is trying to build a lot around and be centered on him and his dynamic playmaking that he has. And for the reasons of a lot of things we don't know, whether it's execution, whether it's flow and the actual planning of the game, or the drawing up of plays, the scheme, you're getting nothing. I think scoring 0 points in Houston, or not scoring any points in Houston, is probably the most disheartening thing about this past weekend.
Let's go back to the phone, 615-737-1045. Many of you patiently waiting to talk Titans through the college football hour. We appreciate you hanging on. Bam is in Nashville, first up to begin hour 4. What's up, Bam?
Morning, Bam.
My people, my brothers.
How we doing?
Man, Will, that's a fully loaded question that I want to be able to continue to call in and talk to you guys on. So I'll just keep it, I'm ready to move on from Cali, man. And it's starting to show on this team. For Cam to respond the way that Cam responded, for just everything that looked like it's just falling apart. It looks like, Will, you could go out there and call a better game. You could go out there and be, OC or DC. It's just looking like, man, what is this? This is beyond purgatory at this moment. Like, this is just like, man, come on. Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? It don't even look fun. It don't even, okay, put it like this. I don't already spend my money to go to Vegas, but I'm not going to the game. I'm just going to Vegas just to go eat because I already bought my ticket. It's like, I'm anxious to see what that game is going to look like with the Patriots as far as attendance goes. Because this is just, at this point, it's just like, man, they've deflated everything out of us as fans, man. Like, and I love the Titans, but it's like they've taken everything man, we can't even sustain drives at all. Why? Why is it so hard? We get excited when we get a first down.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is just, I don't know. Thank y'all for listening to my TED Talk again. But, yeah, it's terrible, man. It's hard. It's hard. It's really hard.
Thank you, Bam.
Callie's got to go.
Appreciate the call.
Thank you for your patience, too.
I understand why you feel that way. I get it. It's hard to argue against any of those points and the feeling that fans have of helplessness. Everything feels difficult for this Titans offense, Ramon.
That part.
That's the biggest point of concern for the Titans today. Everything feels hard.
And as hard as the game is in general, like to add to
harder than that.
Harder than that. Yeah. I do think they thought the game plan was going to work, but the execution of it and the trust in it just isn't there.
Jeff wants to talk Titans coming up next. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing, Ramon, Will?
Good morning, Jeff.
Hey, good morning. Hey, I just got a quick thing, man. I'm a Titans fan. It is. I piggyback off of Bam earlier. Man, it's hard to watch these guys. But on a lighter note, we always talk and we never make national attention. On Get Up this morning, Rex Ryan, Teddy Bruschi, everybody was laughing at us on the Cam Ward comment after the game. And if Amy Adams Strunk, if she even watches ESPN and Get Up, you ain't got to worry about him getting gone because he'll be gone.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
The last thing you want is be made a mocker of, man, to be mocked.
This was Cam Ward speaking with the media post-game. The original question about, did you feel like you were more off than usual? And then a follow-up question that sparked the long answer that's making headlines this morning. Justin, if we have that. You're on the phone. That's not your fault. The answer from Cam Ward about feeling more off than usual, and then the long answer where he says what he feels like the team is right now. And just
not really. Some of them got to be throwaways in some situations, and then some of them was just me not putting the ball where it need to go.
Sorry, Mr. First Wave, but what's not going right for this offense where you guys just can't get on track?
Everything from interception to a penalty to an incompletion by me, a bad ball, and then once we pass the 50, we just not continuing the drive. So, I mean, if we keeping the buck right now, we 0-4. We have, at this point, we got nothing to lose. We dropped a quarter of our games, and we've yet to do anything. So we have to lock in, especially myself on the offensive line, from the defensive line, from the special teams to all three faces. We have to play together. We have not played together this year yet, and that's just something that, we want to preach about it every day. Every day we got to do better, and we're doing that, but it has to show up on Sundays. It hasn't showed up yet, but it got to show up next week.
That is Cam Ward speaking post-game, one of the words that was bleeped out that we can tell you. Can't say the other one. He says, we ass if we're keeping it a buck right now. Brian Callahan will speak to the media today at 1:30. Paul Kaharski has just tweeted out, he does not expect anything to happen today. Brian Callahan is going to be the head coach of the Tennessee Titans tomorrow and today and moving forward. But it feels, Ramon, like Cam is starting to get discouraged.
You hear it.
More so now than he has been before.
When asked a simple question, what's wrong? You hear the despair in his voice. Freak, everything. Nothing's going right. And to be a good teammate, he's throwing himself in there, which you should do. The quarterback is supposed to be that guy, too. And he does have his faults. I've continually said, and a lot of people don't want to hear it, this football comes out fire hot. Those guys do have to catch it. That's their job. That's the expectation of being a professional. You're the top 1%. More times than not, you're bringing those catches in. But there's no flow. There's no cohesion with everything that they're doing right now. And what's crazy is Cam mentioned something we hadn't picked up on until, I guess, just now. He mentioned getting past the 50. There does have to be a different mindset when you cross plus territory like that, too. And for whatever reason, hearing him say that, and it's me putting words in his mouth, he didn't give that answer, but it feels as if he feels there should be a different game plan when going into that mode. And somehow it's the same thing that they're calling and there's not much of a change to the results of it.
He's not really said game plan's a problem, though, because at the same press
hasn't.
conference, he said the game plan is fine. The coaches are putting us in position to succeed. He said, I'm watching the film, and there are plays there, and we're not making them.
But I'm just bringing up the fact that he did mention when we cross the 50, it dies. That's a game plan issue to me, though.
Okay. Let's go back to the phones. Noah up next, talking Titans. Hey, Noah. Noah, what's up?
Noah, what's up? Good morning, Noah. Yeah.
There is Noah one there.
Noah, I was hoping you had a good one, and it was.
Mike is in Clarksville up next. Hey, Mike.
Morning, Mike.
What's up, fellas? Hey, I called a couple weeks ago after the Broncos game, and I compared the D-line being exhausted to big girls at the buffet line all huffing and puffing. But my question, I guess, Ramon, where is the fire in this team? You see nobody holding anybody accountable. Imagine them Steelers teams without Hines Ward, without Harrison holding everybody accountable. Look at the Ravens with Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. I mean, we got these field goals being missed, these passes being dropped, and they just throw their heads up in the air like, oh, well, maybe we'll get them next week. I need a big girl who's mad that there's no more banana pudding on the buffet. Show me something on camera that you care. Give us something to look forward to instead of waking up on Monday and seeing ESPN having us number one, getting the Baines kid out of Miami. We should be hoping for playoffs and not for number one picks.
That's
Talk
true.
to me, Ramon.
I'm with you.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike, I got a feeling that you are very near and dear to the ladies that have a little extra love to give too. So stop dogging them like that. I'm sure it's okay, but I know what you're getting at is this. There's got to be a long line of those type of players to come through your building, though, too. Like the creation of what the Titans had in the late 90s, early 2000s, because your guys were your guys for a very long time. So you have the ability to set the culture. When everybody speaks about it, and it's probably going to happen sooner than later, the firing of, Coach Callahan. You reset all of that again. You look at the former draft picks that haven't made it here, or the guys that, eventually end out of the building. Like, you get those types of players, those Ed Reeds, those Hines Wards, those types of players, those Javon Curses, right? You get those guys when they stay and stick around and also have success. There's been none of that. So everybody's scrambling to try to find an answer right now. So I don't think you have it. I think you have some of them there. But it's the same way, I felt going into my senior year at UT after that year. It's more of them than it is of us. There's more newness, more youth, more inexperience than it is of Jeffrey Simmons, of Amani Hookers. Offensively, who can you name that's been here long enough to actually understand what the standard is? That's an original. Chig? That's it.
You have a lot of rookies who are trying to set a new standard, but there's not enough of them. And I like this rookie class. I think there's major potential in Elikiah Manor.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Femi Oladejo had his best football game as a Titan. He's a developmental prospect who shows a high ceiling, but he's going to need time to get there.
All right.
We haven't seen Kevin Winston Jr. yet. We haven't seen Jackson Slater yet. We haven't really seen Marcus Harris yet, but he's shown them enough to warrant trading Jarvis Brownlee because they want to see more of Marcus Harris. I mean, those guys need help. They need more draft cycles and draft classes to change that culture, because right now, Ramon, there's nothing to hang your hat on.
It's just beginning.
There is nothing to hang your hat on. The best thing that you've done through 3 games was special teams. You missed 2 kicks on Sunday.
Oh.
So that's the reality of where this team is right now. They are constructing an identity in real time because, unfortunately, right now, their identity is more about what they're not doing versus what they are. Coming up, there are a couple columns calling for change this morning. Ramon is more open to it. You've been a lot more open to it this morning than you were definitely last week.
Yep.
Is it time for the Titans to go ahead and make a change? We'll talk about it next. Ramona Will at 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooter's Coffee on this Monday morning. The Tennessee Titans are 0-4, and it's time to have some difficult discussions. We're fueled by Scooter's Coffee, Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet, where they are locally owned. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. With the 11-year NFL veteran and Vol Network analyst Ramon Foster, I'm Will Bowling, Justin Hawkins, our producer. If you want our takes on the college football weekend or on our instant reaction earlier in the show, subscribe wherever you download podcasts. Ramon and Will is available everywhere. Apple, Spotify, 1045thezone.com to listen. All right, Ramon.
Yeah.
Simply put, is it time, in your opinion, for the Titans to move on from Brian Callahan right now?
Yes. And I think the right now part of it is all right to say, too. Because to ask the question or make the statement, it can't get any worse, it could, and it has. Cam Ward, the product of your creation offensively as a professional here, completion percentage is low. The operation of the offense has gotten worse. The one thing that you were attempting to do and run the football hasn't actually finished games for you. You've lost close games. You've also gotten blown out. You've been in a position to where the entire operation under your command has been embarrassing more than anything. Just on the surface level, because I'm not a huge stat guy when it comes down to, the end of weeds and rankings. But through 4 games, you got 3 offensive touchdowns. You also have 5 turnovers. That's bad. We're talking about a league that allows the quarterback to be carried more than it ever has in the history of the game. We're talking about a league to where you got younger guys who have come into this and have had offensive explosions. You also have the backing of the front office. They spent money to get you. They spent money to get you free agents. They gave you the ability to fire a special teams coach this past year and get you a veteran coach. And that has also helped. Even with the setup of what the special teams are, you can't close out drives. And if it starts with the offense specifically, then it's a failing grade. Not just failing, like you dropped out in the second grade is the way I'm looking at this one right now.
The Titans desperately need signs of progress to allow the current process to continue. And there just haven't been a lot of those over the past couple of weeks. For the first time yesterday, Ramon, this wasn't just an opponent that is really good that imposed its will on you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be fair to that Texans defense, that's a good, talented defense. But Ramon, that offense has problems. And you allowed a 2nd and 33 to be converted and a 3rd and 17 to be converted. Yeah. There are no explosive plays. A lot of what is good is happening outside the structure of the system and outside the structure of the scheme when Cam just runs around and does something cool. That's a problem. That's a problem for the scheme. That's a problem for the coaches that are putting it together. They know it over there. They didn't have super high expectations, I think. I mean, look, we said it in the preseason, and I'll stand by it. Every team has a chance to be successful in the NFL because it's built that way if everything goes right. Now, A, not everything's gotten right, and B, you haven't improved in key areas where you needed to make improvements. Offensive line being the number one of those. You have growing pains for a rookie quarterback happening in real time with an offensive line that hasn't gotten better and a receiving core that can't catch the football. Ultimately, the head coach is the one that's accountable for that. When you have holistic issues that are happening in all phases of what you're trying to do offensively, it comes back to the person in charge, and that's life in the NFL. That's life as a head coach at any level, from Brentwood Blaze all the way up to the Tennessee Titans. When you have consistent issues that pop up time and time again and you're under 4 yards per play in 3 out of your 4 games, it's hard to not look yourself in the mirror and understand that there are some big changes that are now on the table. I think all of it is fair. I think it's fair criticism. I think it's fair to ask the question. I think the answer you give is fair as well, to say that something big has to change. Now, that being said, I want to hear again from Cam Ward, Justin, because he was asked post-game What isn't being done right? What gives you confidence in the plan to say that it's on you, the players, and not the coach calling the plays? And Cam Ward had this to say.
I would say, honestly, just not being consistent. And that falls into the execution standpoint and whether I have a bad ball, whether I need to throw it away. But also the biggest thing is every time we get in a long situation or get back on track situation, the drive always ends. In the NFL, it's hard to play on second and long. It's hard to play on third and long. So that's the biggest thing. Like, we have to execute plays every play. It can't just be whether we get a big run or a big package or a spurt. Like, we got to just be consistent.
What is it about the coaching staff that's maintaining your faith, Brendan?
It's nothing about the coaching staff. At the end of the day, they put together a good plan for us. We're not executed as players. Offensively, like, we just have to make the plays. Like, at the end of the day, every pass concept is winnable versus man or zone, no matter what they got to. I got to get through the progression. I got to put the ball in my receiver plan, in the receiver hands. At the end of the day, they got to make plays too.
What gives you the confidence that the plan is good or that it will work when you haven't seen those results yet?
Say that again?
What gives you the confidence that the plan is good or that the plan will work when you haven't felt or seen the results yet?
Because it's there. Like, I'm watching the film on the sideline. It's there. It's just, whether it's a bad play by me or a bad play by one of the 11, like, it's just not clicking when it needs to click. It has to click every drive, and it's not doing that yet. And so, I mean, the biggest thing is the urgency. I think up front, those guys, they were gritty today. In the run game and the pass game, they went against a good defensive line up there. And, I mean, from an offense standpoint, we just have to be consistent. It's 4 games, and we 0-4. Why? Because we're inconsistent.
Joel on YouTube writes in, that's Cam Ward, by the way, Tennessee Titans quarterback. Joel writes it on YouTube. It says, hard to blame coaching with so many holes in the lineup. Still major issues with the offensive line, edge, and secondary. Snead needs to go. His effort is weak at best. I agree that it's not just coaching. It's not just scheme. It's not just the play caller. It's not just the line. It's not the quarterback. It's not just the wide receivers. It's all of it. And that's the unfortunate reality of where the Titans are in their rebuild right now. There are a lot of factors contributing to their lack of success on Sundays. So even if you did make a change now, Ramon, that's not the fix.
It won't be this year.
Maybe it's the first step of a process to make change, and I understand that. But for this team, for this 2025 Tennessee Titans team, I'm not blaming Cam Ward, Ramon, but a lot of the process of improving involves Cam Ward's processing speed and overall ability to quarterback an offense taking steps forward. Unfortunately, right now, Ramon, it appears that he is taking steps backward. Mm-hmm. Things are getting worse for him. Why do you think that is?
I'm going to start with the leadership because you mentioned Cam Ward and his, regression that he's had. But I also look at it and say, when it comes down to getting your guys ready and having a plan in place, I think it does start there too. Like I've seen in our YouTube chat, you can catch us there too, speak about the inexperience of this team. Well, that's also where coaching takes over. That's also where setting your guys up not to fail plays a part in it too. Again, you can listen too much to the players and devalue yourself almost in a sense. I think it would have been smart to have Cam stay and do a dink and dunk style of guy before you allowed him to just roll and make plays. Like that's not a way to live. And the only reason I say this because that was one of the main things that the quarterback outblock for Ben Roethlisberger had to do too. At some point, stay in the pocket and deliver and not go and make the acrobatic plays from time to time and be Superman every single time. That's why I feel like where you can take advantage of the route running of Calvin Ridley or have a comeback catch guy, Alec Ayumanor, right? Like those are the things that you have to do to get a rhythm. That lack of rhythm and consistency, I still think starts with the information that is coming down or the lack of believing in the plan that you have for them. You can tell me that the plan is good. How often have you actually seen your plan be executed to where you also trust it? There's portions of the game to where you just got to say, this is what we're doing and we're sticking with it because the fact that game was 6-0 going into the fourth quarter should have allowed you to not panic and stick with your game plan, but you deviated from it.
You had a chance.
I think that decision-making, right? We're talking about the inconsistency of it. was one of the main reasons Houston felt like, well, heck, we can take our shots. We're about to go right now. Houston, if you look at the way that game went for them too, they stuck to their plan, I thought, longer than the Titans did with theirs. I felt like just watching the flow of the game, Bo felt like he had to take a shot and had to get something big down the field. Bo Hardigree.
Oh, okay.
Bo Hardigree. I felt like he felt like either in his ear from Cali or through his instincts of being a play caller too, felt like he had to go do something big, and it hurt you in those moments by trying to do long developing plays.
Flea flicker and double pass.
Double pass.
Chimere DK, 2 examples.
You have to rush it. And the only reason I bring it up is this, though, too. I've played with guys, Devlin Hodges, Duck, is, I think, engaged in marriage.
Laney Wilson's fiance, yeah.
Yes. We go out to San Diego at the time and play against Phillip Rivers and the San Diego Chargers at full strength and beat them. Because at the end of the day, our game plan was going to be slow, be methodical, take what's in front of you, and execute that plan.
Get the ball out quick.
Get the ball out quick.
Get dunk.
Trust what's your strength. And a lot of people think this offensive line is it. Pound the rock until it cracks, or you free yourself up for something.
But the issue is you're not getting enough separation in dink and dunk, 1, and 2, you haven't displayed the ability to hit explosive plays that teams are sitting on the dink and dunk. I mean, that's the reality of the situation right now. Cam Ward has not showcased the ability to stand in the pocket and go from his first read to his second routinely. He does it every now and then.
Where does that start with then?
Well, to me, it starts with Cam Ward learning how to play within the structure of the offense, or the structure of the offense better suiting Cam Ward's strengths. One of those two things. Remember when I said this over the offseason? I'm not going to toot my own horn on this, but it was a conversation we had saying the issue that I see with Cam Ward on film, Ramon, it was what? He doesn't play enough within the structure of an offense. All right, well, one of two things then needs to happen. You either change the structure to move him more. Titans were, I believe Zach Lyons put it out 13.3% play action in this game despite running the ball as well as they had all season. You didn't move him out of the pocket. You didn't move him on the run. You didn't roll him out to get him moving to where then, hey, if you don't have your first read, just go ahead and run. That's fine. Hey, we're learning. We're getting the system implemented. We're not going to live like that forever in the NFL, but for now, maybe we simplify things a little bit, and that's the counterpunch, right? Move him out of the pocket, play action, roll him out, protect him a little bit from your tackle on the left side who is sick and on the right side who's backup. Or you hope that Cam can stand in the pocket and go to your second reads more often. Because, Ramon, they're open. They are. It's not to say that we were 100% right on Cam not playing within the structure of the offense, because I think there's some blame on what the structure of this offense is. We talked all offseason about how this is going to be structured like year 2 at Miami. I haven't seen enough of that, to be quite honest with you. There have been some RPOs. There have been some of those screens and quote-unquote run solutions, as Brian Callahan calls them. But I'm not seeing Cam moved around and be mobile enough to create and be given the structure to create. I'm seeing him going outside the structure of what he's being given and then creating on his own.
Just to add real quick, because I know we got callers too. You know the issue that you have with trying to create Cam Ward's ability to work in this offense? It was the guys that he had on his team also either made NFL rosters or practice squad, like Xavier Restrepo, or got drafted. Like, I'm looking at Miami's like draft class. It was Cam Ward. It was a guard. It was Elijah Arroyo. Like, he had playmakers also get drafted. That this team, I don't think, have those type of playmakers on his team. And again, not to revisit the offseason, but when everybody was yelling, get him, get him, get him, and we both were of the mindset saying, no, you're not ready for that yet. Build this team up. Like, This is thinking that one particular player is going to change everything when everything else around them isn't at the level that you need to be to raise up to that level.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he can't turn into it, but in directly this rookie year, it's tough to expect him to be a football god to a team that has a whole lot of holes.
Yeah.
It wasn't, in my personal opinion, you know this is where I stood. You wasn't ready for him just yet.
Yeah, that's why you were in the trade back camp for a long time. That's why I was too. And I remember I came around because they signed Dan Moore and Kevin Zeitler. Like when I came around on drafting Cam Ward is when they built him an offensive line. Well, that offensive line hasn't lived up to those expectations. So Cam Ward gets more than 4 games to show he can learn to play within the structure of the offense. I mean, we are in no means saying that, at least I'm not saying they made the wrong decision by drafting him. But so far, he is showing a lot of the same weaknesses he showed in his college film, which is to be expected. And since that's to be expected, it was to be expected that this offense would have growing pains. But they've got to show signs of life and signs of progress from week 1 to week 4 in order for you to let this process continue to play out under this leadership. Buck Rising wrote at AtoZSports.com saying it doesn't fix the larger issue, but there must be accountability, saying that Amy Adams Strunk must fire Brian Callahan. That was Buck Rising. AtoZSports.com with a longer column about that and talking about the ownership and front office's role within decision-making. You can read that as AtoZSports.com. Connor Orr of SI.com writes, while I'm sure there are sensible reasons for many of the decisions Callahan has made, given the deficiencies on his roster and that part of the swelling sentiment that will eventually lead to his dismissal is simply the unfair piling on that happens when an unsatiated fan base manages to light a fire that catches on forest-wide. The reality is, this is Connor Orr at SI.com, the reality is there are ways to behave like a head coach who is trying to remain, and there are ways to behave like a head coach who is done being a head coach. There is survival and indifference. That's Connor Orr's words at SI.com saying, in my opinion, Callahan has chosen the latter. He has chosen the path of the person who has not looked in the mirror or has not been asked to until it has gotten too far late. And while it's obvious that he is a symptom of far larger organizational issues, Connor Orr of SI.com writes, we have seen coaches thrive in other toxic, politically ambiguous, or straight-up horrendous atmospheres. It's one of the job requirements.
It is.
That's Connor Orr of SI.com. All that to say, it's time to let Cam go. It's time to let Cam do what he does, which is run around and make plays. Because just playing not to lose and playing to set up your defense, Ramon, we've seen, lasts until about halfway through the third quarter, when that defense wears out and that defense can't be the best versions of themselves again. That defense gets a 15-yard penalty or an illegal contact, or Snead gives up a big play to a number 1 receiver. The run the ball, play the defense strategy isn't working.
Nope.
If you're not going to open it up now, then you're just going to run out of time to have the chance to call those plays.
Let it hang.
Eric is in Georgia. Up next. Hey, Eric.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good morning.
Good. Been thinking about this. I'm a Titans fan. I've been a Titans fan since McNair, lived in Chicago, loved the Bears, became a Titans fan, all that stuff, and moved down here to get closer to them. But anyway, it's about, okay, Callahan's done. We all know that. Be it to the Amy organization, you guys have been talking about it. We're not going to be kind of a dead horse or anything like that. But you're talking about an identity, right? Who is basically, other than maybe Cam, our best offensive player? It's Tony Pollard, right? Statistically, it's Tony Pollard. Utilize him. Turn him into a third, to an everyday back, an every down back, rather. Start doing body shots. I mean, on our offensive line, the tackles, they're not that good. Go more on the inside. Guard, center. We see plays. We've seen Tony make some great runs. Utilize that. Start throwing some body shots. Be known for that. And then let Cam, do a play, start doing play action after that. Do a bootleg. Throw the, when you start seeing the defense loading up, thinking Pollard's, you're going to keep running. Take your shot.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. Appreciate the call. And unfortunately, we got to move on because we're kind of up against it here. But I do agree, Ramon, that there were plays to be had in play action on Sunday that they didn't take. They had their lowest play action rate of the season at 13.3% in this game.
I mean, nothing's working. Cam said it. I mean, again, this is Bo Hardegree's first time giving it a shot at it, too. It's sad. That's just what it is. Like, and we're only just the first quarter of the season through. Like, I wish I had more stuff, but it feels like at this point, like, it's just piling on to the same conversation of the what and the whys, and the whys is just as bad. And it's hard for anybody to stomach what it looks like because the promise of it being fast and exciting has not delivered whatsoever. Yep. With different characters, with supposedly better product out there too.
615-737-1045. We finish up the show. Rapid fire phones. Kevin, Gil, and Ryan wrap us up next. Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up your Reaction Monday. Today during Cover 2 at Blaine and Zach, Brian Callahan meets with the media at 1:30. He is the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, and he is going to speak right then. You can stream it live as well, 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. They will have live reaction afterwards as well. No change being made this morning, Ramon.
No, absolutely not. Our teammate Buck Rosen said these type of things historically happen on Tuesday.
Last time a head coach change was made, the Monday press conference did not happen, and the change was made on Tuesday when Mike Vrabel was let go. The press conference will happen today. Do with that what you will. Okay.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know what more he can say that he hasn't already said. It's just more breakdown from guys that write. They're going to have more details on how screwed up he was. And the thing that he did yesterday, he doesn't need to do again today. He absolutely cursed at a reporter. I know the crap that you're trying to do to me right now. The moment you crack like that, they got you.
It's not as much what he's going to say. It's just the fact that he is saying something is the story there. Is the fact that he's still meeting with the media.
He should go out there and act like the Joker and just smile and laugh at it, because that's the only thing I have for him.
Peyton on YouTube says, what are the odds Amy sells the team? 0.
Stop, Peyton.
0.
Stop, Peyton. You sell your team.
It's just
that's the only defense
That's not a good business move to sell a football team when you're building them a brand new stadium and you make so much money doing it. It's not going to happen. Let's go to Kevin in Clarksville. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, how you doing? I try and keep this brief, but this is just my personal thought. I don't care who you put as the coach. Right now, the team is not gelling together enough to where they'll win, no matter who you put in as a coach. Most of the time, when you have a young team, everybody realizes that it's going to take time. So this team is going to have to learn to lose together, which they're doing now, but they're going to have to learn to win together. And that's going to take continuity. You can't keep switching out coaches and all of that stuff, and the owner acquiescing to the whining fan base, because it's just going to take time. And we're in a microwave society where nobody wants to give the coach time, nobody wants to give the players time, and you can't gel like that. But it's just my personal thoughts.
Oh.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it, Kevin. I think there is a lot of truth to that. I don't think there's one change other than time, other than more draft classes and more free agent acquisition cycles. You have the most cap space in the league next offseason, but that's what it's going to take.
Former Titan and also Buck Rising guest Nate Washington tweets out, got some bad news for you Titans fans. I wouldn't expect Brian Callahan being fired anytime soon. I expect him to be in a position until at least bye week. Logistically, the Titans front office has no direction/identity. Therefore, I'd expect delays on firing the head coach. # in my opinion, # Titans.
There you go. Gil's in California up next. Hey, Gil. Gil, you there?
Gilbert.
All right, we'll try Gil again in a minute.
Gilchrist.
In the meantime, Ryan is up next. What's up, Ryan?
What up, Ryan?
What's up, fellas?
Morning.
So, I think, first of all, Callahan kind of did this to himself. I think the fans feel the same way about him that he felt about Will Levis when he was making a lot of those bad plays. So when you think about not knowing the rules on the automatic catch, the 4th and 1 decision to go for a 60-yard field goal with the delay of game, the choice to receive the kickoff on the coin flip, those are the equivalents to those bad quarterback plays. And so I think people would be more patient with maybe him sticking around if that wasn't something that's been lingering recently. But my number one point that I wanted to make, and I got to get this out, I've been a Titans fan ever since they came here. I was at the Music City Miracle game. The last time we had a good offensive line was when Jack Conklin was here. And ever since we didn't pick up his 5th-year option, I've been begging for them to not just pick up a fill-in-the-gap right tackle or left tackle, but also to pick up a good swing tackle or a backup, because our injuries have been so bad with over the years. You had Conklin, then you had Lawan, then you had, most recently, the center. And, now you got Latham with the hip injury. These this team has always been good when it's had a good offensive line, and we need to focus on that in the draft. We've missed it the last 3 years. We can't afford to do that again this year. That's all I got, fellas. Hope y'all have a great morning. I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you, Ryan. I mean, they keep using first-round picks on them.
They do.
Like, they are addressing it.
That's true.
Dan Moore is a $100 million left tackle. Peter Skronsky is a top 15 overall first-round pick. Lloyd Cushenberry is a former first-round pick. Kevin Zeitler is a former first-round pick. J.C. Latham is a first-round pick. They are addressing it.
No lies.
I do think it's more complex than just the line needs to block better. Quarterback's also got to get rid of the ball quicker. I don't think it's all on the line, but he makes a good point that the best Titans teams are good up front, and this team is not good enough up front.
Got to build it inside out, but you also got to have some signs of success to actually believe that it's going to work, too.
Yep.
I do think bad teams make good players bad, too.
I mean, I heard Ross Tucker say it when I watched the broadcast back last night when I got home. Like, the left side of the line has got to pretty much be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The left side of the line's got to step up because the right side's banged up, and your center's coming back from a torn Achilles.
Yep.
Tomorrow morning, we will have much more reaction for you. We'll have Austin Price of AllQuest. We'll start to preview Vanderbilt and Alabama. The game of the weekend in college football will be played by the Vanderbilt Commodores, who are legit. We'll talk a lot more about that this week. Start to look ahead to the next week of college football. Lots to get to, and we'll see what Brian Callahan says today as well. That is your Tuesday morning. The Buck Rising Show is next. Brian Callahan speaks live here at 1:30.
What will he say? But in the meantime, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot, baby.